The following is a presentation of Baldwin Sports Live, your home for live coverage of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Baldwin Sports Live is presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Learn more at haydenoutdoors.com. Also brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Kelly Neufeld, Baldwin State Bank, Codiano State Farm Insurance, Heartland Plumbing, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home, One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, Trindle Lumber Company, Oral Surgery Kansas, Hers Incorporated, Rice Precision Manufacturing, The Bullpen, Baldwin City Recreation Commission, New Frontier Tax and Business Services, the Lumberyard Arts Center, Jabats, Baldwin City Community Newspaper, and by the Baldwin City Chamber of Commerce. This is Baldwin Sports Live.
Good evening from Liston Stadium in Baldwin City, where tonight the Baldwin Bulldogs host the Eudora Cardinals to kick off the 2022 high school football season. Along with Ryan Hilmer, I'm Bryce Kessler, back for another season of Bulldog football here on Baldwin Sports Live. We are presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, and we're looking forward to seeing what this new year has in store for the Bulldogs. After they finished just 1-7 a year ago, they head into year two now under head coach Bob Lisher, looking to continue the improvement that we saw over the course of last season. It was a struggle in those first few weeks, Ryan, but as the season went on, we saw more and more success from this Bulldog team, and it culminated in a 46-42 victory over Royal Valley to end last year. We'll see if they can carry that win from a year ago into this new season.
Yeah, 100%, Bryce. The season didn't go as well as they would have hoped to start with, but later on, that last game of the year, they ended on a really good note, like you mentioned. So see if they can't carry that over through the offseason, a year of growth and all these players coming back, more experience this year, same coach, same system. See if they can't come back this year and have a better year overall. The
Bulldogs' opening night opponent, the Eudora Cardinals, coming off a 6-5 season a year ago, which ended in a quarterfinal playoff loss to Bishop Miege. They have a new head coach, but it's a familiar face for the Cardinals. Their former defensive coordinator, Drew Steffen, takes over the reins of the Eudora program as they look to once again make some noise in the 4A state playoffs. So kickoff coming up here at the top of the hour. We're just getting started here on the Baldwin State Bank pregame show as we get you set for kickoff tonight between Baldwin and Eudora. Plenty more to come. We'll take a look at some of the key matchups, check out our State Farm game plan, and get you all set for the return of Bulldog football. The Baldwin State Bank pregame show continues right after this.
At Baldwin State Bank, we love being part of the community we serve. Our roots run deep in Baldwin City, and our commitment runs deeper. Whether it's that dream house you can't wait to call home, or the trust of your personal finances, both present and future, we're here to serve you, our customers, our neighbors. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs for more than 100 years and counting. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846. Serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
Welcome back to the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. Personal service from people who care. That's what you get at your hometown community bank, Baldwin State Bank. Whether it's personal finances, business money management, loans and credit, or savings for retirement, go see Baldwin State Bank. For over 120 years, they've helped serve our community. Enjoy a better banking experience with your friends and neighbors at Baldwin State Bank. Just getting started for game one of this season. Baldwin and Eudora. Kickoff coming up here at the top of the hour as we take a little preview of our season outlook here for the Bulldogs. 1-7 last year, but it ended with a victory. And the biggest thing you're going to notice when you watch this Bulldog football team this year is just the sheer amount of guys on the team. Last year, Ryan, we sat here on opening night. There were 18 guys suited up for Baldwin. This year, we're looking at 38 guys suited up this fall. Still plenty of youth on this team, but numbers are up significantly from a year ago, and they can even practice 11 on 11 now. Something they couldn't do last year. Makes a big difference.
That's incredible. It's incredible to see the numbers growing year to year. Hopefully it just continues to grow after this year, but it's good, to everybody get out there, get together, and learn to grow as a team a little bit.
Experience returning as well. 9 starters back on both sides of the ball for the Bulldogs. The entire starting offensive line is back, and it's also year 2 now in the system of Bob Lisher. So they've been able to sort of hit the ground running, kind of a cliche that you hear when it comes to those early season practices, but it's true. This year they didn't have to learn each other, so to speak. They were able to pick up where they left off, and so hopefully that will pay some dividends early in this season. They won't have quite as steep of a learning curve because last year not only were they learning a new system, but a lot of the guys who were on the field were freshmen playing their first high school ball, and then it was varsity high school ball at that in a new system. There was a lot to learn last year. This year it's been a lot easier of a transition to get into this season.
Yeah, I think anybody that's played high school football that first year, you kind of get in there. It's more of just feeling things out and kind of getting that experience and seeing how fast the game is compared to like the JV game. And now you got that year of experience under your belt, and now you can grow and get a little more strength in your system out in the summertime and see how we improve this year.
The district has changed a little bit this year. Out goes Topeka Hayden. Out goes Perry LeCompton. In comes Santa Fe Trail in Wellsville. So it's a little bit of a different look in the district this year. Actually, I beg your pardon. Santa Fe Trail was in there last year. Anderson County, not in the district, but they've been added to the schedule to replace one of those games. But Wellsville has come into District 3 in Class 3A now, and they would probably be considered the favorite after a 10-1 season last year for Wellsville. But nobody else had a winning record in this district a year ago. Bishop Ward 4-5, Santa Fe Trail 2-7, Osawatomie 1-8, and Baldwin, of course, 1-7. The top 2 teams for the district advance to the playoffs, so it is sort of a wide-open district, maybe outside of Wellsville, who is expected to be pretty tough again this year. But the other teams in this district got to be looking at it thinking, hey, maybe this could be our year to put things together and get rolling. And, of course, district games won't start up for another few weeks, but you get 3 games to kind of get your gears going before those district games start. But this is a year that perhaps wide open, perhaps one of those things, get some early momentum. Who knows what can happen?
Exactly. I mean, it's exciting when you look forward. Obviously, any football coach will tell you it's week to week. You don't want to get ahead of yourself and start looking too far forward. You want to focus on whatever opponent you have this week. But, I mean, when you look forward and see that you will have a pretty good opportunity to make the playoffs this year if you can play some better football than you did last year and string some wins together this year, then that's pretty exciting for the Bulldogs this year.
Well, we'll take a look at a few of our matchups to watch in this game when we come back here on the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. A little bit of a look at the opponent, the Eudora Cardinals, who were 6-5 last year. They got out to a bit of a slow start, not counting the big opening night win over the Baldwin Bulldogs, but then they suffered a couple of really close losses before they finally put things together and made a run all the way to the quarterfinals of the 4A state playoffs. So high expectations coming into the first year now of Drew Steffen, their former defensive coordinator, who has taken over as the head coach. We'll take a look at some of the matchups to watch with the Cardinals when we come back. You're watching the Baldwin State Bank pregame show as we get you set for kickoff on opening night on a beautiful night here in Baldwin at Liston Stadium. It's Baldwin and Eudora coming up on Baldwin Sports Live.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face to face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144. For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Back inside Liston Stadium, it's the Baldwin State Bank pregame show, getting you set for Week 1. Baldwin and Eudora coming up here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors, along with Ryan Hilmer. I'm Bryce Kessler as we take a look at our matchup tonight, preview this opponent on opening night. It's the Eudora Cardinals, who opened the year last year with a 53-0 victory over Baldwin. So the Bulldogs clearly hope for better results this time around as they get them on their home turf tonight. A team that went 6-5 last year, Eudora. All 4 of their losses were close games. They were all by a touchdown or less, or I should say 4 of their 5 leading into that quarterfinal loss, which really a 21-6 loss to Bishop Miege. And anybody who knows high school football in Kansas knows that Bishop Miege doesn't typically win by just 15 points. So that was a respectable showing they had in what was a 15-point loss, which was their largest loss of the year. They had 2 one-point losses, a touchdown loss, and a 3-point loss. So they were very close to having a tremendous season. 6-5, still a very solid year, a quarterfinal run, and they too bring back quite a bit of talent for head coach Drew Steffen, who has been an assistant the last 2 years, the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals. He takes over now as their head coach, and the big question I think for Eudora that we'll get a taste tonight to see the answer is, what kind of offense will they run this year? They've been a very run-heavy team the last several years. Braden Bierbauer, their stud running back, a Shrine Bowler this past year, back-to-back seasons with well over 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns. He's gone to graduation. Their quarterback's gone to graduation, so they get a whole new backfield. The offensive coordinator still the same, so likely with Dane Hammerschmidt calling the plays, we're going to see that same style of offense despite the bevy of talent they have in the pass-catching core. But that's kind of the question. They're going to run that flex bone triple option offense and use those wing backs, use that feature back Octavius Lyles, but we'll see if there's any different look to this team now that they've lost some of their studs they've relied on heavily, or whether they continue to pound the rock like they've done the last several years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm excited, interested to see what they're going to do offensively. I mean, they have so many options through the air. I mean, you could spread the ball around if you have a quarterback to do it, but lately, I mean, in high school football, really, if it's not broke, you don't fix it. So if I had to guess, they're probably going to run the ball a lot tonight, and they're probably going to run it down Baldwin's throat or try to. And so Baldwin, they're going to have to try and do a good job gang tackling and pursuing the football.
And they've got 3 Power 5 prospects at the pass-catching core with the tight end, Jaden Ham, who is a Arkansas tight end commit. Jaden Bender, one of their wide receivers, who is a guy that has Power 5 offers from KU and K-State, and Adrian Seals, a junior who is a highly ranked prospect as well. So they've been extremely run-heavy, but they do have some talent in the pass-catching core, so we'll see how that plays out tonight in this one. It's the Baldwin State Bank pregame show as we get you set for kickoff tonight. Keys to the game coming up next here on Baldwin Sports Live.
State Farm Insurance Agent Codiano is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Codiano State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Codiano, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
Welcome back to the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. Baldwin and Eudora coming up in just minutes as we get you set for this game. It's time for tonight's game plan, brought to you by your local State Farm insurance agent, Cody Anno. It's a good time to stop by and review your policy as kids head back to school or perhaps off to college, whether it's updating a current policy or maybe you're looking to switch to something brand new. Cody would love for you to stop by and see how he can help a neighbor out. Call 785-594-0270 or visit codyismyagent.com as we take a look at our State Farm game plan here tonight. It starts out, Ryan, establish that identity if you're Baldwin in this game early.
Yeah, I think especially offensively, you need to establish an identity this year. I feel like at times last year they didn't really have that until late in the year. They started to throw it around a little more to Cole Mahaffey, who's gone this year. So you're going to have to find another guy. Riker Grosser might be a guy that's going to have to step up. Sam Darnell's back, the 6'2 tight end senior this year, but you're losing 235 yards and 5 touchdowns with Mahaffey being gone. So you're going to see probably a lot of Jack Harvey in his legs and Connor Murray in his legs, and see if they can't pound the football and control the clock a little bit, which leads me into my next point of not going 3 and out, too many times in a row, and sustaining some offensive drives and see if you can't control the ball, control the clock a little bit. And then on the other side of the ball, it's going to be stopping the run. Basically, we talked about it a little bit in the last segment. They're going to try to pound the ball right down your throat, and so it's got to be a lot better tackling than we had last year, a lot better pursuit angles and gang tackle these guys.
Those are your keys tonight on our Cody Anno State Farm Insurance game plan as we get you set for Baldwin and Eudora here on the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. We'll be back with the starting lineups, and the opening kickoff is just moments away as well. It's week 1. The crowd is on hand. It's the Bash night here at Liston Stadium, so a great crowd for this opening night ball game. And the Bulldogs are going to hope to put on a show and give the home crowd something to cheer about here tonight as they host the Eudora Cardinals. You've been watching the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. Personal service from people who care. That's what you get at your hometown community bank at Baldwin State Bank. Personal finances, business, money management, loans and credit, savings for retirement. They can handle it all, and they do it as your neighbors at Baldwin State Bank. Go see what I mean and enjoy a better banking experience at Baldwin State Bank at baldwinstatebank.com and call 785-594-6421. We're back with the starting lineups in the opening kick next on Baldwin Sports Live.
At Baldwin State Bank, we love being part of the community we serve. Our roots run deep in Baldwin City, and our commitment runs deeper. Whether it's that dream house you can't wait to call home, or the trust of your personal finances, both present and future, we're here to serve you, our customers, our neighbors. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs for more than 100 years and counting. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
Baldwin and Eudora, kickoff moments away. Welcome back to Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate. And it's time for tonight's starting lineups. They are brought to you by the Lumberyard Arts Center. As you take a look at your starters there for the Eudora offense and the Baldwin defense. Big test tonight for the Bulldog front seven. Middle linebacker Wesley Martin, the leading tackler a year ago for Baldwin. He'll be calling out the signals for a defense that's going to have their hands full against a run-heavy offense of Eudora. Good play-action game as well. Octavius Lyles, their new feature back, replacing their two-year starter, Braden Bierbauer. Seals and Ham provide two elite athletes for new quarterback Cale Hammerschmidt on the outside when they do decide to go to the air. On the other side of the football, it's the 9 starters returning there for this Bulldog offense, including the entire offensive line. Jack Harvey, the dual-threat quarterback, hoping for big things from their junior signal caller. 10 returning starters on that defensive unit for Eudora. Braylon Hubler, their middle linebacker, the top player on that defense, according to head coach Drew Steffen. Your starting lineups are brought to you by the Lumberyard Arts Center as we take a look at the lineup for the Lumberyard Arts Center at 718 High Street in Baldwin City. Upcoming lineup there on the screen. Don't miss out on all these great events. Live music, arts and crafts, unique experiences, youth and adult classes, and so much more offered at the Lumberyard Arts Center. Learn more at lumberyardartscenter.org. Create, play, and innovate at your creative home in Baldwin City, the Lumberyard Arts Center. All right, here we go. It's about time for kickoff. Tonight's opening kickoff is brought to you by Baldwin City Recreation Commission. Tickets on sale now for the second annual Downtown Beverage Festival. Make plans to join BCRC in downtown Baldwin on Saturday, October 22nd. It's from 3 to 7 o'clock. Sample some of the region's finest beverage offerings with the backdrop of live music, food trucks, and more. Early bird tickets on sale right now for $30, but attendance is capped, so don't wait to get those tickets. You might miss out if tickets sell out. Buy them now at baldwindirect.org or stop by the office at 705 High Street.
All right, Bryce, here we go. Perfect weather. Got a great crowd on hand. Time to strap the chin strap up a little bit tighter and hit somebody other than your buddies for once.
That's right. It was rainy and overcast last year on opening night when we were in Eudora for that season opener, but it is perfect this evening. Some might say a little hot, really, for your football weather enthusiast, but a great night, great crowd on hand here in Baldwin as Eudora will get set to kick it off. It'll be Gage Baumgartner who will do the honors to get this ball game underway. Capel back deep for the Bulldogs along with Darnell, and it'll be Sam Darnell who fields it at the goal line and just inside of the goal line, so an automatic touchback, and the Bulldog offense will get the first possession of the night. They'll start at the 20-yard line. Here we go, year 2 under Bob Lisher. Jack Harvey, the Bulldog starting quarterback, as a sophomore last year, started the majority of the games, battled through an off-season injury before he made his debut in week 2 for the Bulldogs, and then just one more there throughout the year, but he had some really great moments last year as a sophomore, now the junior. Big things expected out of number 12 in purple. So Harvey will work out of the shotgun here on first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. That's Riker Grosner who goes in motion, and Harvey looks to throw on first down and connects out the 25-yard line, and it's Drew Grosner for 5 yards. Octavius Lyles makes the stop. They'll give him 6 to the 26-yard line, so a nice high percentage look on first down, a nice solid gain.
Yeah, I like that play call. Roll Jack Harvey out to his right, get him comfortable. He likes throwing on the move. He likes getting out of the pocket and throwing. It's a good first play call.
Last year, Harvey completed right at 50% of his passes for 892 yards, 8 touchdowns, 7 picks. But those numbers don't quite tell the full story for Harvey, as he was much better in the latter half of the year, really got into a rhythm, and this is the big threat he brings to that quarterback position. As you mentioned in the open, Ryan, he can certainly beat you with his legs, and his first carry of the season takes it all the way out to the 33-yard line. A 7-yard run for Harvey and a Bulldog first down.
And just like that, a first down, like you mentioned, we said you need to sustain some drives and don't just go 3 and out every time you got the ball, so good start here.
Harvey was the leading rusher last year for Baldwin, 56 carries, 228 yards, and 4 touchdowns on the ground. And we've seen him already connect through the air and pick up 7 on the ground. First down and 10 at the 33. 4 wide for Harvey. Quick look, batted up in the air, and luckily drops down in the middle of the field, incomplete. Looking for Capel. Eudora able to break that one up, and really, with the way that ball was hanging up in the air, Ryan, they're fortunate that just ends up as an incomplete pass. Could have been worse.
Yeah, extremely fortunate. I think he had his man there, just couldn't quite haul it in. But anytime the ball gets tipped up in the air like that, everybody holds their breath a little bit.
Well, brings up a second down and 10 now for Baldwin. Opening drive of the game. Bulldogs picked up a first down on just 2 plays to start the series. Now Connor Murray gets his first touch of the game, and a big hole for Murray. He's upended to the 45-yard line as Hammerschmidt make that Seals who goes low to make the stop. But Connor Murray picks up a dozen yards on a second down and 10 carry, and the Bulldogs move the chains for the second time on this opening drive.
There you go, a little first glimpse of that offensive line. You mentioned it, all 5 starters back from a year ago. Got a year of growth under them. Opened up a big hole for Murray that time.
Murray ran for 145 yards on 31 carries a year ago. He expects to have a bigger workload this season in his junior year. Deep ball for Darnell, who's got space and has it inside Eudora territory as he's dropped near the 20-yard line. They'll mark the 21 as the Bulldogs pick up 33 yards on a big pass from Harvey to Darnell, who really became 1B to the 1A of Mahaffey late in the year last season.
That was a perfectly floated ball from Harvey, just caught it in stride. Darnell didn't quite have the speed to win the foot race to the end zone, but he was wide open.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line after the big 33-yard completion. And now Harvey quick flips it out to Grosser in the flat, trying to get some blocks as he takes it down inside the red zone for the Bulldogs in their opening drive with a 5-yard completion as we played 2 minutes here in this opening quarter, and a very impressive start to this ball game for this Bulldog offense. But you mentioned they wanted to establish an identity early on, and we're starting to see some developments of that here on this opening drive.
Yeah, they're really attacking the outside of the defense, trying to run those screen passes, run some sweeps to the outside to see if they continue that.
Second down and 5 at the 16-yard line. This drive started after a touchback back at the 20. Harvey pumps over the middle, high for Darnell. He drops it as he falls to the turf. It was a little bit behind him, and it looked like for a moment Darnell was going to reel in a highlight grab for a touchdown. Instead, it'll bring up a third down and 5 at the 16-yard line.
I like that play design, though. They had a route breaking out to get the safeties. If they're looking at Jack Harvey in his eyes, he gave a little pump fake. Kind of had Darnell in the end zone, and he just couldn't come down with it.
2.5 minutes into the opening drive, and they face a third down here. Third down and 5. First third down of this opening drive for the Bulldogs. Option to the right side, pitch to Murray, and a good tackle made on Connor Murray by Errol Seaman as he trips him up at the 12-yard line. They'll be just shy of a first down and a fourth down decision, but it won't be much of a decision. This is a team that admittedly does not have much of the form of a kicking game, so 4th and 1, no question here in the 12-yard line on this impressive opening drive. The Bulldogs are going for it.
Absolutely. I think even if you did have a kicking game, the way this opening drive's going, you just want to go for it here.
They need a yard from the 12-yard line of Eudora. Murray can't break free. He is stuffed short. The tackle in the backfield made by Matthew Magent and Braylon Hubler, and that duo will stop the Bulldog drive, a promising drive that takes it inside the red zone, but ends on a turnover on downs at the 15-yard line of Eudora.
A lot of positives to take away from that drive, though. You went from your own 20 to their 15. It's a pretty good opening drive of the season.
So now we see this Eudora offense take the field. They will start on their own 15-yard line. New quarterback, Cale Hammerschmidt. New feature back, Octavius Lyles. Some of the weapons on the outside the same for Eudora, with Jaden Ham and Adrian Seals, Jaden Bender. This is a team that wants to run the ball. And Octavius Lyles expect to see a heavy dose of their feature back, number 2, Octavius Lyles, a 5'9", 164-pound senior. He's got his hand in the turf behind the quarterback, Hammerschmidt, and there is movement by the left guard. That is a false start on Camden Recheck. So the first penalty of the game will go against Eudora, and it makes this a 1st and 15 from their own 10 to start this drive now.
This is the side of the ball for me, though, that Baldwin really has to improve on the most from last year. Late in the year, they started to move the ball a little bit, but they're still giving up a ton of points, a ton of yards, and chunk plays. Got to try to limit those this year.
1st and 15 from the 10. Hammerschmidt hands it off up the middle to Lyles, and the Bulldogs quickly contain Octavius Lyles. And there's another penalty flag thrown by the umpire. And a chop block against Eudora. So a tough start for the Cardinal offense with a dead ball penalty, and now the chop block penalty, and they are quickly pushing themselves deeper and deeper into the shadow of their own goalpost here.
It's another one of those things that Baldwin needs to improve on. Opposed to a year ago is winning the penalty battle and the turnover battle and eliminating the bad plays. Eudora is the team so far in this game. It's been shooting themselves in the foot.
So that moves the football back to the 6-yard line. And a 1st down and 19 for Eudora. Bulldogs' opening drive was a promising one that ended on a turnover on downs, and now Eudora has gone backwards with a couple of penalties. Option, pitched it back to Lyles, who spins away from one Bulldog defender and wrapped up at the 9-yard line. Brett Davidson and Connor Murray making the tackle for the Bulldogs. Or check that, Wesley Martin and Brett Davidson make the tackle as Lyles takes it out to the 9-yard line for 3 yards. 2nd down and 16 coming up. Eudora, they're a team that likes to run the option. They practice it a ton, obviously, so they're comfortable running that option back there on their own goal line, but a dangerous spot to be handling the football. Baldwin last year only forced 8 turnovers all season long, so that's another thing when you talk about, Ryan, just improving the tackling and perhaps being a little bit better at turning opponents over, as this time Lyles gets into open space and takes it all the way out to the 31-yard line. So it's a 22-yard run there by Lyles, who gets free for the first time, and a penalty flag is thrown at the end of the play. And now another penalty flag has been thrown as the official is looking right at the Bulldog defense. He fired another flag high up in the air. So it would appear that that one anyway is against Baldwin, but we'll see what that first flag was for. Emotions running high here on opening night.
I say a little chippiness, a little animosity, like been hitting each other for the whole summer, all fall, and now you can finally take that aggression out on another team. Got to keep your emotions in check, though.
Baldwin Sports Live is presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the #1 land brokerage firm for farm, ranch, and recreational properties. Your local Baldwin City brokers, Shad and Penny Sheldon, are ready to help you find your dream property, like the Appanoose Creek Retreat, which is available now in Franklin County, a perfect recreational slice of heaven for the avid outdoorsman. Nearly 115 pristine acres with a fully furnished, solar-powered cabin. See this stunning property and more at HaydenOutdoors.com, or email Shad at HaydenOutdoors.com or Penny at HaydenOutdoors.com. Offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties Well, I
think it was after the play, so you're going to count the play and just offsetting.
So with 7:42 left to play in this first quarter, it is a first down and 10 at the 31 for Eudora. Opening drive of the game for the Cardinals. Big 22-yard run by Lyles. Got him out here in space, and now they go to the air for the first time. It's Manley in at quarterback. Hammerschmidt was listed as the starter, and I guess I'll have to go back and look. Has Manley been in there the whole time? Manley perhaps has been the guy the whole time. I was told it was Hammerschmidt, but actually, no, I see Hammerschmidt over on the sideline in street clothes. So Manley, the starting quarterback, beg your pardon on that earlier, and that was a pass that was broken up, but a penalty flag was thrown. And it's pass interference against the Bulldogs. So after what was a nice, clean, good pace first drive for Baldwin, it's been littered with flags here on this opening drive for Eudora.
I don't think we've ran but maybe 1 or 2 plays without having a penalty on this drive.
So that moves the football out to the 46-yard line on the pass interference against Baldwin. Already had 3 accepted penalties on this drive, and then the 2 offsetting personal fouls as well. First and 10, ball at the 46 for Eudora. Manley under center, the wingback goes in motion. Baumgartner. Option to hand off that way, and not a lot cooking there. After the 49 for 3 goes Errol Seaman.
Number 8, Errol Seaman.
Just shy of midfield will bring up a second down and 7.
Tackle on play by 52, Jake Van Horn.
Jake Van Horn credited with the tackle on that last stop. Eudora replacing their stud running back, Braden Bierbauer, who ran for 1,300 yards and 1,200 yards in each of the last 2 years, respectively, with 20 touchdowns on the ground. And Octavius Lyles, the man of the backfield now, is the guy who's taken the baton from Bierbauer to be their featured back here in 2022. He's toted it twice so far. Baumgartner goes in motion. They fake the toss to him and give it to Lyles up the middle. And Lyles spins down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Tristan Capel makes the tackle. And it's another 12 yards ripped off by Lyles. And a first and 10 for Eudora.
That's one of those kind of tricky plays that they can run at you. Kind of fake the sweep going one way and just hand it off underneath, coming the other way. Got to have good eye discipline if you're defense.
First snap coming in Baldwin territory for the Cardinals here is Cole Manley, 6'1", 170-pound junior, getting the start here tonight at quarterback, replacing Gage Hayden, the starter from last year for Eudora. Part of that 1-2 punch in the backfield with Bierbauer. It's Lyles again. Stopped at the 34-yard line by the Bulldogs' leading tackler from last year, Wesley Martin. It's a 5-yard run for Lyles. Second down and 5 coming up for Eudora. 6:15 and counting left to play in this first quarter. Both teams with solid opening drives. Baldwin's, of course, stalled out with a turnover on downs, though. Eudora's didn't start so promising with back-to-back penalties, but the Cardinals have overcome that, and they are now on the move. Second and 5 at the 34. Manley keeps it out of the option look this time and has a first down with a penalty flag thrown yet again. Sam Darnell with the tackle for Baldwin at the 26-yard line. It's an 8-yard gain and a first down for the moment. And it's coming back. So the penalty is against Eudora. Looked like he signaled a block at the back.
Yeah, I think that's what they got him for.
So take away the first down on the run by Manley. Bring the ball back to the 38-yard line. And it's 2nd down and 9 instead for the Cardinals.
If you're coaching Eudora, you're probably not too happy with the amount of penalties, especially on this opening drive so far.
3 accepted and the 1 personal foul that was offsetting. But they've still been able to move the football. 2nd and 9 at the 40 or the 38-yard line of Baldwin. Give to Lyles. Murray makes the stop at the 29-yard line, right at the first down sticks. It looks like it's going to be just enough to move the chains for Lyles. Well, 1st and 10, move the ball to the 28-yard line of Baldwin with 5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. These two teams met on opening night last year. Eudora won that game 53-0. Baldwin, a team that is much bigger this year in terms of sheer numbers, bigger in terms of the size of the young men as well. He's a year older, a lot of youth on last year's team. Still a lot of youth this year for Baldwin, but some experienced youth now. Lyles breaks a tackle and breaks free for the touchdown as Eudora strikes first on a 28-yard touchdown run from Octavius Lyles with 4:32 left to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, big hole opened up that time on the right side. Cut down a couple of linemen. Almost went to the end zone untouched that time.
Off at the extra point is Gage Baumgartner. As the Cardinals overcome some penalty troubles on this opening drive and find the end zone. Baumgartner's kick is good. 7-0 Eudora, 4:32 left to play in the first quarter. You're watching Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
4:32 to play, first quarter, 7-0 Eudora after a 7-play, 83-yard drive that ended on a 28-yard touchdown run by Octavius Lyles. So the early lead after one possession each to the Cardinals as Baumgartner will kick it away. And another penalty flag. As Eudora was offside on the kickoff.
Penalty flag on the kickoff.
They'll push that back 5 and re-kick it. Well, you mentioned it, Ryan, that Eudora not going to be happy with the penalties to this point. That's 4 of them now against the Cardinals, but they, to this point, have overcome them. But that's certainly not something, not a recipe for success as the season moves along for the Cardinals.
I mean, that's not too atypical for the first game of the year, coming out and committing some penalties. But, yeah, it's sure been a lot here in the first quarter. Haven't even been 8 minutes into the game yet.
So we'll try this kick again. Baumgartner gives it a ride, and it will be Grossner who has to come up to try and field this one, sliding down to the turf. And he hauls it into the 29-yard line with Eudora closing in on him. So Baldwin, opening drive of this game, Ryan, 9 plays, 64 yards, 3 minutes, 10 seconds. They possessed the football. It was a very promising opening drive. Unfortunately, it ended in a turnover on downs down in the red zone, but See if they can continue some of the success we saw on that opening drive here on their second possession now.
Yeah, it was really promising. They did it in a lot of different ways, too. They did it with a big chunk play to Darnell through the air and on the ground with Connor Murray a little bit. So see where they go to here to start this drive.
Murray stands to the right of Jack Harvey, who will work out of the shotgun on 1st down and 10 at the 29-yard line. Harvey with a pump, wants the deep ball, underthrows Grosner a little bit, but Riker able to make the adjustment and make the catch. Micah Barron, the linebacker, deep down the field to make that tackle on Grosner. What a big shot for 31 on 1st down for the Bulldogs.
I love that, though. Every now and then you got to try to take the top off the defense and just run a go route. Jack Harvey late in the year last year was really good at just dropping those in there to Mahaffey, and we'll see this year. So far, so good.
And Riker Grosner, if you had to tab a guy to kind of take that Mahaffey role from last year, he would be the guy. He had 13 catches for 93 yards last season as a sophomore, did Grosner. As Murray is bottled up here on a 1st down run. Good effort to at least get back to the line of scrimmage. Turns that into a no gain as opposed to a loss. But Grosner having to try, or somebody going to have to try and replace that production of Mahaffey, who was a 16-catch, 235 yards, and 5-touchdown guy last year for the Bulldogs. And Grosner and Darnell have both now come up with a deep ball early out of this game.
You can just tell, though, Jack Harvey's a little more calm this year of experience under his belt, and it's really commanding this offense so far.
4 out of 6 through the air so far for Jack, including a couple of deep balls. 2nd down and 10 here from the 40 of Eudora. Fakes the handoff to Vance Morgan, fires it into the flat to Darnell, who's cut down by Adrian Seals. Marked at the 36 for a 4-yard completion to Darnell. We'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for Baldwin.
That's a big 3rd down here. You just were on the field for a ton of time on defense. That tires you out having to tackle those big guys. See if you can't get a 1st down here and sustain this.
Vance Morgan the back. 2 wideouts both ways for Harvey here with 2:47 left in the opening period. It's Morgan on the ground, and Vance Morgan down to the 32-yard line. Picks up about 4, and it'll bring up a 4th down and short. It seemed like the type of play call there to make a more manageable 4th down at the very least if you can't break free and pick up that 1st down, and they succeeded in doing that as it brings it up to a 4th down and 3 only now.
Yeah, you keep your options open. You can do anything. Go back to the run here, or we try one of those play-action passes, I think.
Two minutes left in the opening quarter. 4th down and 3 for Baldwin. And it looks like Eudora jumped into the neutral zone.
That is big.
Kevin Witten looked like he encroached on the play. And it is going to be against Eudora. So yet another Cardinal penalty, and this one the most costly yet, as this one gives the Bulldogs a 1st down on what was going to be a 4th down and 3 play.
And Eudora just gifting Baldwin a 1st down there.
Can the Bulldogs take advantage? 1st down and 10 at the 28 of Eudora. Fake to Morgan, and it's batted at the line. The defensive end on this side, Errol Seaman, got his hands up to bat that pass down. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Just the 3rd incomplete pass so far for Harvey. 5 of 8 for 78 yards through the air. Really started, as Ryan mentioned, to get comfortable as last year went along. His last 4 games last year averaged 191.5 yards per game with a 9-3 touchdown to interception ratio. So was playing some good ball at the end of last year, and so far has picked up where he's left off. High snap, he's able to handle it, get it down to Murray. But Connor cannot get away from the defense. Another flag comes flying in from the back judge here. Jaden Ham blew up that play. It's a personal foul, face mask against Eudora. So the Cardinals continue to hurt themselves big time. This will take it down to the 14-yard line and another first down for Baldwin.
If you're the Bulldogs, you've got to capitalize off this now. They've given you a free first down, a free 15 yards here, and now try to punch this thing in the end zone.
6 penalties for 43 yards now against Eudora in the first quarter. 1:37 left to play in this opening period on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Those are the kinds of things that coaches lay awake at night and think about. 6 penalties in the first quarter. It's not good.
So Baldwin now has twice been gifted a first down by the Eudora defense via penalty. One of them on a 4th down, and now this one takes it down into the red zone again. Harvey over the middle. Grosner hauls it in and backs his way in for the touchdown. Baldwin answers with a 14-yard touchdown strike from Jack Harvey to Riker Grosner.
Just like that, said he needed to capitalize, punch it in the end zone, did just that. It was a nice throw by Jack. He put it right on the back shoulder of Grosner, right where it needed to be. He battled his way into the end zone.
The Bulldogs will keep the offense out there, and, well, was there a penalty flag thrown late? There was.
They're having a discussion.
So there is a penalty flag on the far side at the line of scrimmage. So hold the excitement.
He's looking.
And the Bulldogs are marching backwards. And they
wow.
call offensive pass interference against Baldwin. So take the points off the board. The student section's going to have to gear back up for another celebration as the touchdown is wiped away on a pass interference, offensive pass interference against the Bulldogs.
That's just one more thing you got to overcome. Can't dwell on that as a tough call that goes against you, but try to punch this thing in again. And then, like I said, it's only first down, so you don't have to do it right here, but try to get the positive momentum going once again.
So first down and 25 from the 29-yard line. Harvey rolls, fires for Darnell, and it's out of his reach. They hit Darnell on that corner route earlier and had a chance at him again there. Seals the closest man in coverage, and it brings up second down and 25.
That's that little rollout sprint right for Harvey. That's his favorite way to throw, is running to his right. Just led Darnell a little too far that time. Had him open again, though. That play worked just like it did the first time. Couldn't find him.
Both Darnell and Grosner have shown an ability to get open down the field right now. And the offensive line, we mentioned all 5 starters back, have done a good job to this point protecting Harvey, keeping him clean, and allowing him to throw the football. Second down and 25. Quick throw this time. Caught by Darnell at the 26. Short gain, 3 yards. Seals the tackle. And bring up a third down and long.
This is one of those situations you don't have to get all the way on third down. You want to get about halfway, make it fourth and manageable. About 10, 15 yards would be great here.
Under a minute to go in the opening quarter. It's been a game of possession so far, as this is only the 3rd possession of this game. Both teams have done a good job working the ball down the field, moving the chains. Baldwin trying to overcome a penalty that wiped off a touchdown. 3rd and 22. Harvey this time under pressure, able to get away, but more pressure coming, and they eventually bury Harvey back near the 40-yard line. Jaden Bender ends up with the sack. They'll mark his progress dead at the 37-yard line. It's an 11-yard loss, and it'll bring up a 4th and 33. A tough break there for Baldwin. Thought they had a touchdown, and it ends up wiped off with a penalty. And now we've reached the end of the quarter. After one, it's Eudora 7, Baldwin nothing. You're watching Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services specifically tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots are here. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Seven 0 Eudora as we head to the second quarter here tonight in Baldwin at Liston Stadium, and a 4th down and 33 coming up for Baldwin as we start. Eudora took a timeout with 1 second left in the quarter.
Interesting decision, but I guess they wanted them to go this direction for the 4th down play.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little wind, but not enough wind that I would think it would have impacted that decision. So technically this is still first quarter with 1 second left, and Harvey will punt it, trying to pin this one down near the goal line, but it goes into the end zone. And it will be a touchback, bring it back out to the 20. So that now ends the quarter. We'll go ahead and just leave it right here. As, again, the Cardinals took a timeout there with 1 second left in the quarter. So they will start the second quarter with the ball on the 20-yard line as they flip sides of the field. Baldwin Sports Live brought to you in part by Rice Precision Manufacturing. If you're looking for a great job with a growing family-owned company right here in Baldwin City, then check out Rice Precision Manufacturing. They're actively looking to fill positions for skilled CNC machinists and CNC operators. Excellent pay, competitive benefit packages, a climate-controlled work environment, and friendly support staff that's dedicated to the betterment of their employees. Send an email to jobs@riceprecision.com to schedule an interview. So now we go to the second quarter, and just 3 possessions right in that first quarter of this game. And for Baldwin, man, you look at the numbers, and you'd think that it should have been more on the board for them there. A 9-play drive, an 8-play drive, 94 yards of offense in that first half. They possessed the ball for 7 minutes and 42 seconds of that quarter, but nothing to show for it, and they trail by a touchdown instead.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to show for it, but a lot of positives to take from it. I mean, if you look at this time last year, it was not sure what the score was after the first quarter, but it probably wasn't 7-0, so a lot better this year, and some positives to take away from it, and some obstacles to overcome for sure, but just got to keep playing your game, playing hard. Good first quarter overall, though.
See if they can get a stop this time around as Eudora's offense takes the field. Octavius Lyles was the star on the opening drive. He had 80 yards on the ground on the opening drive for him, including the 28-yard touchdown. He's the back behind Cole Manley. And he's the back that gets it. Just a yard. Bulldog tackle made by Guy Morgan. And Lyles is injured on the play as well. He went down a little awkward, kind of like sat himself down. Hopefully just a cramp of some sort. It is cramp season in football with the humid, hot temperatures at the start of the year. First came out, so we'll hope that's all it is for Lyles as they'll take a look at him here with 11:46 left to play in the first half. 7-0 Eudora. We're back in a moment here on Baldwin Sports Live.
Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
Back at Liston Stadium in Baldwin City, 7-0 Eudora on top of Baldwin with 11:46 left to play in the first half as Octavius Lyles tries to get stretched out like a cramp for the Eudora running back, who's off to a good start tonight. 7 carries, 81 yards, and the game's lone touchdown. I'm sure they'll get some fluids back in him. Hope they can get him back on the field. And so with Lyles going to the sideline, Errol Seaman will likely take over that fullback role for the Eudora offense.
So far, it's been a lot of what we expected from the Eudora offense, though, just trying to pound it on the ground. Not a lot of pass plays so far, maybe 1 or 2. But, yeah, they're just sticking to their guns the way they have in the past years, just running that football.
Cole Manley, the quarterback, has officially not thrown a pass yet. As I mentioned, they've tried to go to the air a couple of times, but penalties have made it so they haven't officially recorded an attempted pass yet. Facing a 2nd down and 9 here. We'll see if Baldwin can make a stop and maybe force him to go to the air. It is Seaman that comes in as the fullback now. And he gets the handoff, and a nice tackle made by Brett Davidson, who had Jaden Ham on his back, had him pinned to the ground, but Davidson still able to reach an arm up and make the tackle on Seaman after just a 2-yard run to bring up a 3rd down and 7.
That's big time, and that's where the strength of this Bulldog defense starts, is that defensive line. The big boys up front, they can lock up the gaps a little bit. Davidson did a great job, like you said, just to get an arm up and trip up the runner.
So on 3rd and 7, let's see if they put the ball in the air. Jaden Bender, number 11, has a couple of Power 5 recruiting offers. He's the wide receiver to the near side. Jaden Ham, the tight end attached to this side, is a tight end commit to Arkansas for next year. And Bob Lisher sees the formation and decides, let's take a timeout and talk it over a little bit here defensively. This is a big 3rd down coming up, Ryan. With the game still just 7-0, and your offense has shown the ability to move the ball, just hasn't been able to finish for points yet, although they did have wiped off with a penalty. So big 3rd down if they can get the stop, get the ball back right away to this offense.
Yeah, this could be one of those big turning points that you look back on later in the game saying, well, if we could have just got that stop right there in their own territory and then got some good field position, we could have mounted a drive together, you know. So it all starts with this 3rd down. Try to hold them here.
Baldwin Sports Live brought to you in part by The Bullpen, your locally owned sports bar located in historic downtown Baldwin City. They're open for lunch through 2 a.m. Monday through Saturday. So grab some lunch, stay all night. Perfect place to go before, during, or after the game. Sports on every television, live entertainment, and great food specials as well. Follow them on Facebook at Bullpen Baldwin City for all of the latest happenings down at the Bullpen. 3rd down and 7 coming up here. Ball on the 23-yard line for Eudora. 2nd possession of the game for the Cardinals. They drove the length of the field for a touchdown on their opening drive. That has given us our only score so far, a 7-0 ball game with 10:40 left in the half.
Gotta have good eye discipline here. If you're the defensive secondary, don't bite on any play fakes or anything. Let somebody run past you.
Bender this time will go wide to the left. Jaden Ham, the star tight end, is attached to the right side of the formation. Hubler goes in motion. Option to the left side, kept by Manley. and a first down for Eudora. Out to the 33-yard line. They pick up 10 on a 3rd down and 7 option run.
Yeah, they don't do anything fancy. Just stick to their guns, what they know best. Run an option left and find a hole and able to get a big first down for Eudora.
Jack Harvey makes that tackle for Baldwin, but not before Cole Manley picks up the 10 yards to move the chains. So a new set of downs now at their own 33-yard line with 10:15 left to go in the first half. Manley to throw this time, connects with Ham. Nice open field tackle made by Tristan Capel at the 39-yard line. 6 yards on the completion to the tight end.
That's a heck of a tackle by Capel. He's given up almost a foot to Jaden Ham there and able to just ankle bite him a little bit. It's my kind of tackle.
The recruiters had to do their work with Ham, and what I mean by that is he has just 9 catches over the last 2 years, and yet he's going to be going on scholarship to play in the SEC next year as a tight end. And he is a tremendous blocker.
Yeah.
And obviously, when given the opportunity, is a threat to catch the ball and make big plays happen there as well. Flags fly as Seaman was chopped down by Martin at the 44-yard line. It was a 5-yard run, but we'll see what the penalty has in store, and it looks like it's another illegal chop block against Eudora. Second time we've seen that penalty called against the Cardinals tonight.
Chop block, the penalty on the offense.
So with 9:18 left in this first half, that'll march the football all the way back to the 28-yard line.
15-yard penalty, still second down.
It remains second down, but now second and long. Second down and 15 for Eudora.
Got to take advantage of these long yardage to go situations. If you're Baldwin, Eudora just keeps giving you opportunities to take advantage of.
They had him on a 3rd down and 7 earlier in this drive. Eudora overcame that. They overcame what was a 1st down and 19 way back on their opening possession of the game. And here's 2nd and 15 at 28. Majette in motion. Seaman the carry. And he carries one of the Bulldog defenders out to the 34-yard line. Picks up 6 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Looked to me like that was almost a fumble on that exchange. Sometimes quarterback can wait a little too long to make the decision whether to give it and to pull it, and that can lead to some trouble, but Eudora got away with it that time.
Actually mark it all the way to the 35, so it's 3rd down and 8. Similar spot to where they were in just moments ago. They kept it on the ground that time. Manley to throw on this 3rd down. Seals has all kinds of space to make that catch. A 1st down and more as he crosses the midfield stripe, still on his feet, and tripped up by Harvey at the 44-yard line. Well, 21-yard completion on 3rd down and 8 to Adrian Seals, and another Eudora 1st down.
You can see some of that playmaking ability from Seals on the outside. That's something like you mentioned in the open. It makes you wonder why they don't throw it out to him a little bit more, but they've been having pretty good success on the ground.
And when they needed to last year, he came up with some big plays. 30 catches for 757 yards and 10 touchdowns. But a lot of that came in games when they were forced to throw, having to throw. And if they have their way, they'll just run the ball 90-95% of the time throughout a game. They go back to the ground here. And just a massive humanity in the line there as Errol Seaman will get credited for 2 yards to bring up a 2nd down and 8 with 7:17 left to play in the first half. Another long drive. Time of possession-wise, we've seen 4 now long drives in this game. In fact, all 4 drives so far have seen the offense move the ball into opponent's territory and down into the red zone so far on technically 2 of the 3, but the other one was a touchdown drive by Eudora. Fake it to Seaman this time. A flag comes in as Manley is brought down at the 34-yard line by Davidson. But bring this one back. It's a hold on Eudora. Another penalty, the 7th of the game on Eudora. Or check that, 8 penalties now. 8 for 68 yards against Eudora. Just 2 for 30 against Baldwin. But they've been, at least in the one case, a very critical penalty on that offensive pass interference that took a touchdown off the board for Baldwin.
It's been a lot of holding, a lot of chop blocks and blocking the backs from Eudora, just trying to get every advantage they can up front.
A drive that is now 5.5 minutes old. Start at their own 20. The ball rests right now at the Baldwin 49-yard line. 2nd down and 15. Manley, good pocket to throw from, and has Hubler wide open at the 30-yard line of Baldwin. Into the red zone he goes, down near the 13-yard line before he's tackled by Harvey. But a 36-yard completion to the wingback Hubler, who got free without anybody on him defensively for the Baldwin Bulldogs. He was wide open.
Now Eudora hurrying up the line, changing the tempo a little bit, but it's one of those, when you talk about eye discipline, you want to keep your eye discipline, not let one of those wingbacks sneak out on you.
From the 13, handoff to Seaman, and nowhere to go. Good play to quickly wrap him up and drop him after a 1-yard gain by Connor Murray to the 12-yard line.
The tempo of this game really suits Baldwin, though. They don't have a lot of guys depth-wise, so you can keep the pace of the game a little bit slower and not getting as tired as fast.
Need a stop, though, now to avoid falling into that 2-score hole after 2 promising drives that both come up empty in the points category for Baldwin. Eudora trying to capitalize on now 2 back-to-back scoring drives. 2nd and 9 at the 12. Seaman again with a flag down. It's a touchdown for the moment, but it looks like it's coming back as the umpire threw a flag and is signaling hold on Eudora yet again. So the 9th Eudora penalty takes a touchdown off of the board now for the Cardinals. Had the ball now for 7 minutes on this drive. 3 penalties, 2 holds, and a chop block so far on this drive alone. 9 penalties for the game now for Eudora. But a 7-0 lead for the Cardinals with under 5 to go in the half. Now face 2nd and 19 at the 22. Opening night here on the 2022 football season. The Bulldogs 1-7 last year, won their final game of the year over Royal Valley. Eudora 6-5 a year ago, a season that ended in the quarterfinals of the 4A state playoffs. From the 22, 2nd and 19. Manley nowhere to go as the Bulldogs that time blew up the option. Murray forced him to cut it back, and Davidson finishes the stop at the 20-yard line. 2-yard run makes it 3rd and 17.
Perfectly defended that time, like you mentioned. You got to have somebody make the quarterback cut back and not pitch the ball and then make him cut back right into your fellow defenders. It's a great job. Now 3rd and very long.
The Bulldogs will take a D lineman out. Running off of the field comes Drew Flick. Running on comes Tristan Bass, an extra defensive back here on 3rd and 17 from the 20-yard line. Manley throws a jump ball for Jaden Ham, and he catches it, but a flag is thrown, and I think they may get Ham for an offensive pass interference here as well. Looked like he gave a little shove to Capel to create some separation right before he went up to haul that pass in. We saw an OPI take a touchdown off of the board for Baldwin, and we may see another one here against Eudora.
I think that's another tough call there for Eudora. But like you said, Bulldogs had one called back, so it's only fair.
Well, if you're Baldwin, I don't think you like this discussion going on. The discussion, if anything, may end up picking up the flag. Let's see, here's the call. And it is pass interference against Baldwin. Wow. No, now they've changed it. Okay, I was going to say. So, as we initially thought, it's offensive pass interference against the stud tight end, Jaden Ham. And Ham's going to be regretting that. At 6'6", 232 pounds, being defended by 5'7", $180. I mean, that's one of those where you don't need to give that little shove off.
Right.
And he got caught that time. And it cost him a touchdown and now pushes it back to a 3rd and 32 at the 35-yard line.
Got to be ready for something similar to that, though.
Yeah, I think I put 2 guys out here on Ham.
Yeah, you got him split out wide again.
Now they got Grosner matched up with him. It's a little more size there for Baldwin. Grosner at 6'2". Maybe a better matchup on the 6'6" tight end. They go the opposite side to Seals. Capel's going to have to make an open field tackle and can't do it. Seals is free. Seals is inside the 10 as he cuts it all the way back across the field for the touchdown. Adrian Seals with the yards after catch to turn in a short completion into a 35-yard touchdown for Eudora.
Yeah, you can kind of see what the Cardinals are doing. Their game plan offensively. Grosner came over to this side to guard Ham, and then they just went directly to the other side.
So a backbreaker there for Baldwin. We had him pushed way back, a golden opportunity to come up with a stop. But instead, Eudora adds 7. It's 14-0 with 3:08 left to play in the second quarter on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
14-0 Eudora on top of Baldwin with 3:08 left to play in the first half here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors. And a 11-play, 8-minute, 52-second touchdown drive. 80 yards is the official drive, but they really put up 123 yards of offense on that drive, Ryan, because of all the penalties they had to overcome. They overcome 4 big penalties, 2 10-yarders and 2 15-yard penalties on that drive. And on a 3rd and 32, they pick up a 35-yard touchdown.
That's one that's really going to be frustrating for Baldwin. They had so many opportunities to stop them. Just couldn't get it done.
An initial bobble and now another penalty flag as Braden Hirschman brings that kick back to around the 13-yard line, but there is a penalty on the play. A first half that's been filled with penalties. So far, 11 accepted penalties and a couple offsetting penalties as well.
First and 10 Bulldogs on the 13-yard line.
I thought I saw one of the refs pointing towards Eudora, but having a discussion once again.
It would be nice if that were the case for Baldwin, as right now they're set up to start at their own 13-yard line. Just 3:04 left to play in the half. And here comes the call. And they're going to wave it off this time. So no penalty after all. And Baldwin will start Well, it's just their third possession of the game from the 13-yard line.
But you feel like it's a critical one. You don't want to start falling behind too far. You're down 2 scores now. So you can't mount something together. Ooh, here we go.
Reverse, but it is blown up as Grossner is swung down to the turf back near the 2-yard line. Matthew Majette makes that stop, was not fooled by the misdirection. They'll mark it at the 4. It's a 9-yard loss, and that will really start the Bulldogs in a hole here now. 2nd and 19 to the 4.
That's one of those that's you look like a genius if it works, and if not, probably should have gone someplace else. I like the creativity, though. Why not?
Now it gets tricky because you need to make up 19 yards, but you really don't want your quarterback having to sit back hanging out in the pocket, which would be hanging out in the end zone. We'll see where they go if they get rid of it quick here on a 2nd down and 19. Low snap to Harvey. He does get rid of it quick. It's tipped up in the air, and it falls right into the hands of the Eudora defender for the touchdown. Christian Jarrett with the interception of the score to make it 20-0 Eudora, as that ball just perfectly bounced up into the air and right into the midst of Christian Jarrett.
Yeah, it's kind of the risk that you run throwing out of your own end zone like that. The throw was a little high from Harvey. Receiver tipped it up in the air, and an easy, probably the easiest pick 6 that he'll ever have in his life.
So after 2 very promising offensive drives to start this game for Baldwin, this one is ended quick and ended in the worst way. Immediate points from the Eudora defense as the Cardinals have given themselves a 3-score lead. That kick is no good, but there is a penalty flag. And of course there is, right?
I mean, these officials missed football. They wanted to get back to working their arms out, throwing these flags.
You got to ice the elbows
at
halftime. Speaking of halftime, we have the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show coming up here in a moment. The officials still trying to figure out what's going on with the penalty here.
I think they're sending the offense out there.
It looks like it's against Baldwin. And the kick, again, remember the kick was no good, so it looks like the penalty is against the Bulldogs, so they're going to move it half the distance to the goal and perhaps go for 2 now with the do-over opportunity. So from the 2-yard line now, I never did see what they called. Did you see what the actual penalty was?
They just pointed at Baldwin.
Thrown up for Ham, and he goes up this time to make a clean catch over the Bulldog defender Capel with a 2-point conversion. 22-0 with 2:04 left to play in the first half here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846, serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
2:04 left to play in the first half here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors. And it's a 22-0 lead for Eudora after a pick 6 from Christian Jarrett. Darnell from his own 2 on the return. Takes a big hit at the 19-yard line. So 2 minutes now to go in this first half, as the Bulldogs will look to try and quickly forget that last possession and see if they can make something happen here in this final 2 minutes before halftime.
Yeah, you just throw that possession out the window. You've been moving the ball pretty well other than that. Just got to get back, establish your rhythm as an offense, and move this football.
Grosner is the middle receiver of the 3 on this near side. Darnell, the tight end, that's off the line. They'll run that way with Murray. Connor Murray runs into a wall of Eudora defenders. A couple of yards there for Connor.
Be interesting to see if Baldwin gets a first down here, if they try to speed things up a little bit, but I think they might just play for half here. If they can't get a good play here, this will be a big play, to be a swing play, whether you're going to go for it before half or just let the clock run out.
Two wideouts both ways. The 2 guys on the inside. Darnell right, Grosner left. The top targets for Harvey. Over the middle, and it comes in low for Darnell, who can't make the fingertip grab. And he took another big hit from Micah Barron. A little bit slow to get up on that incomplete pass, which will bring up a 3rd down and 8 for Baldwin with 1:11 to go in the half. And now Eudora, with 2 timeouts remaining, going to be thinking about getting the ball back themselves if they can come up with a stop. So a big 3rd down play here for Baldwin.
If I had to guess, they're probably going to try to get Jack Harvey rolling to his right out of the pocket, get him comfortable. He can run or pass.
Bulldogs has done a pretty good job keeping Harvey clean in this game, and this is a design run all the way for Jack Harvey. Out to the 27-yard line, a 5-yard run, and there's the timeout taken by Eudora. So Hubler makes the tackle on that Harvey run, but it stops the clock on the timeout with 1:03 left in the half. And a 3rd down, or I checked that, a 4th down, and about 3 coming up for the Bulldogs. So with just 1:03 remaining in this first half, we'll get you all the first half numbers. Take a look ahead as well for the Bulldogs on this season, coming up here on the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. And the Bulldogs will be sending the punt team out here, so this is a big 1:03. You're already down 22 points. And Eudora right now, this is kind of that blood in the water moment for them after they just had that big sudden change play with the interception for the touchdown, Ryan. Now they're thinking, hey, 63 seconds left here. We've got them in a 4th down, force this punt, see what can happen. If this could be that back-breaking type of a moment in this ballgame. The Bulldogs need to come up with a solid final minute here and keep this thing at no worse than 22-0.
Yeah, 100%. You cannot allow them to get this ball back, go down and score, and then I believe they get the ball to start the second half as well. So it's a big, big play right here. See if Harvey does a little pooch punt again, or if they see if they have some confidence in their offense to get 3 big yards.
4th down and 3 on their own 27. And Harvey is punting. Takes a nice Bulldog bounce. Seals, goes back, scoops it up at the 28-yard line. We've seen him be dangerous in the open field, and eventually just kind of gives himself up after the Bulldogs had him surrounded. And the tackle is made by Jonathan Wren for Baldwin with 49 seconds left to go in this first half. And it'll be 1st and 10 Eudora on the 33-yard line with a 22-0 lead.
Yeah, obviously here, 49 seconds left. Got to be cognizant of Ham on the outside and Seals on the other side. They're going to probably try to go to the air here.
Manley has attempted just 4 passes, but he's completed all 4 of them for 98 yards and a touchdown so far. Seals and Ham have both been factors in the passing game. Seals is wide left, Ham is wide right. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Manley looking that way for Seals, but overshoots it, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 with 44 seconds left in the half. One timeout left for Eudora.
On the flip side, you get another incomplete pass. Baldwin's got 2 timeouts left. 44 seconds left here. If I'm Bulldogs, I'm telling that D-line, try to get some penetration. Maybe get a sack, strip sack. Change the momentum.
Here's the 2nd down and 10. Quick throw to Ham. Grosner ushers him out around the 45. And a 12-yard completion with 39 seconds to go in the half. It's 1st and 10 for Eudora at their own 45. Jaden Bender now wide to the left with Ham the wide out to the right side of the formation. 1st and 10 of the 45. Manley still has it as he's off and running. A flag flies in. Manley inside the 20, out of bounds around the 15, but the back judge with about a 30-yard chuck of that flag. He was standing back at the 20, and the flag landed at midfield. There's 3 flags down on that play, so whatever happened, it was apparently pretty obvious. 2 flags that are right in the same spot. The other one about 10 yards away from that, so we'll see if it's 2 penalties or whether it's all for the same infraction here. Double-digit penalties in the first half now against Eudora.
That's really the only thing keeping this game from being an absolute blowout.
And there are 2 different penalties. Another chop block and another block at the back against Eudora. So they're going to choose, obviously, I don't know which one was which, but the one that happened about 8 yards further back around midfield. And that will push it back to, should be about the 35-yard line here. So the illegal chop block again, which is now, that's the 3rd or 4th we've seen of those from Eudora. It has just been.
I mean, most of the time when they get some of those chunk plays, those big plays, they're being called back for a holding or a chop block or blocking the back, something.
10 penalties for 93 yards in the first half, but a 22-0 lead, so I guess you can gloss over it a little bit if you're Eudora, at least on this night. 1st down and 20. Fake a toss to Hubler. Manley throws it over the middle, caught by Majette at midfield. Majette inside the 30, knocked out by Harvey at around the 25-yard line. A 40-yard completion to Majette down to the 25-yard line. So if they were ready to kind of call an end to it, that will change plans once again with still 13 seconds to go after a 40-yard chunk play down to the 25-yard line. 1 timeout remaining for Eudora. 25 yards away from a 4th touchdown. Manley on the fade for Seals. Isn't able to haul it in. Had his hands on it as he was going to the turf. But it pops out incomplete. And a 2nd down coming up with 8 seconds left in the half. Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show just moments away.
It was like, with all the penalties, this first half's taking a long time. Getting your money's worth.
Yeah, real time, you're looking at an hour and 15 minutes so far. And we played the first 5 minutes of the game without a single penalty. The opening drive by Baldwin was pretty clean, and then all of a sudden, the penalties have just been a-flying. And really, the majority of them have been on Eudora, which, the way the scoreboard shows, you'd think that it's been Baldwin who's been snake-bitten by penalties. They've had a couple of critical ones, but the majority have been on the Cardinals. Manley under pressure. Gets some extra time now as the defender falls down and throws an interception. It's picked off by Riker Grosner at the 15-yard line. That will end the first half, so Bulldogs won't have a chance to do anything with that interception, but perhaps a little spark going into the locker room for Baldwin as Grosner comes up with a pick, and we've reached halftime. 22-0 Eudora on top of Baldwin through one half of play here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors. Coming up next, it's the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show, brought to you by your local Farm Bureau agent, Kelly Neufeld in Baldwin City. That's next here on Baldwin Sports Live.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846, serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
Welcome into the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show as we are at the break in a 22-0 ball game here in Baldwin on opening night. The Eudora Cardinals with the 22-0 lead on top of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Halftime show brought to you by your Farm Bureau Financial Services agent in Baldwin City, Kelly Neufeld, there to help you protect what matters most. That's Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting and see how Kelly and his team can help you achieve your financial goals, both present and future. Well, the Bulldogs showed some promise on offense in this first half as they had two drives that got themselves into the Eudora red zone, but ended up a turnover on downs on one occasion, and then on the other, it ended up in a punt, and you're saying, well, that sounds odd, but that was after a pass interference penalty wiped out what would have been a touchdown for the Bulldogs, and they ended up pushed back and the penalty and then a sack, and they ended up having to punt the ball away. So the two promising drives that had two disappointing results, unfortunately, for Baldwin. And for Eudora on the other side, they took advantage of pretty much all of their opportunities. A 7-play scoring drive to open the game for them, a 28-yard touchdown run by Octavius Lyles, an 11-play, 80-yard touchdown drive, which was capped off on a 35-yard touchdown pass from Cole Manley to Adrian Seals. And that 35-yard touchdown came on a 3rd down and 32 play. So that was a bit of a backbreaker there to cap off that 11-play touchdown drive for Eudora. And their final score came on an interception return for a touchdown after a tip pass fell right into the lap of Christian Jarrett, who trotted home for about 5 yards. All he had to go after the pick to get the 6, and they were able to get a 2-point conversion on the end of that touchdown after a penalty on the extra point try against Baldwin. So those are your 3 first-half scores for Eudora, and they lead this game now 22-0 at the half. And in a first half, Ryan, that saw the Bulldogs do some good things, but unfortunately they were unable to overcome the opportunities that they had or therefore give up some of those opportunities that were created to Eudora. They had them push back a couple of times. Baldwin had a couple of chances to score. And those pivotal plays that first half, it seemed they went the way of Eudora.
Yeah, I mean, early on, it looked like it was going to be a pretty promising game. They moved the ball pretty well in that opening drive, did Baldwin. But overall, I think you're going to be a little bit disappointed with that first half with all the penalties that Eudora committed and the opportunities that they kind of gave you to capitalize on. Baldwin just really couldn't get it done. So hopefully the second half they'll try to turn it around, make a couple more big plays, and get back in this football game.
We'll take a timeout here on the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show, and when we come back, we'll check the numbers with New Frontier Tax and Business Services as we are at the half, and it is 22-0 Eudora on top of Baldwin here on opening night from Liston Stadium in Baldwin.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
Halftime in Baldwin City tonight here on opening night, 22-0. Eudora on top of the Baldwin Bulldogs. It is the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show here as it is now time to check the numbers. Brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services at 608 High Street in Baldwin City, where they want to remind you that it's never too early to start thinking about tax season. Call for helpful tips on how to best prepare and learn about upcoming changes to maximize your returns. Timely, accurate, and reliable services at an affordable cost to help your business grow and succeed. Visit newfrontiertbs.com or call 785-594-1204 to learn more. Here are the numbers in that first half. Eudora, 22 points on the board, 258 yards of offense with 108 on the ground and 150 through the air. For Baldwin, 92 yards of offense, 11 rushing yards, 81 passing yards. In terms of the possession and the amount of plays, it was very even. Baldwin ran 22 plays to Eudora's 23. Both teams had pretty even possession. Baldwin just over 10 minutes, Eudora just under 14 minutes in that first half. But the big plays favoring Eudora right now, 10 plays of over 10 yards, 6 plays of over 20 yards in that first half. So they were able to hit some of those chunk plays. Both teams had just the one turnover and interception both ways, and lots of penalties. 13 penalties in the first half, only 3 of them against Baldwin. 10 of them go against the Eudora Cardinals. 10 penalties for 93 yards. 7 of those offensive penalties for the Cardinals. But to their credit, they were able to overcome most, if not all, of those penalties and have a 22-0 lead here at the break. Individual numbers, Cole Manley, 6 of 9 through the air for a $150, 1 touchdown, 1 pick for Eudora. And his leading receiver was Adrian Seals, 2 catches, 56 yards and a touchdown. Braylon Hubler caught 1 for 36. Matthew Majette caught 1 for 40. Jaden Ham with 2 grabs for 18 yards. On the ground, Octavius Lyles, 7 carries, 81 yards and a touchdown. That all but 1 yard came on the opening drive for the Cardinals. He then was lost to it looked like cramps on the first play of their second possession. We have not seen Lyles since. So in his stead, Errol Seaman came in, 5 carries for 15 yards. Manley with 2 carries for 12 at the quarterback spot for Eudora. For Baldwin, Jack Harvey, 6 of 12 through the air, 81 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. He started the game 4 out of 6. He is just 2 out of 6 since that good start passing the football. Harvey on the ground, 3 carries for 1 yard. The Bulldog leading rusher is Connor Murray with 5 carries for 15 yards. Vance Morgan with 1 carry for 4. Leading receiver is Riker Grossner, 3 catches for 42 yards. Sam Darnell right there with him, 3 catches for 39 yards in the first half. Defensive leaders in this ball game for the two teams. Oh, the stat sheet isn't sorted, so I'll get those for you in a second. We'll come back to those, but those are some of the numbers. Anything on the numbers there as we check the numbers with New Frontier Tax and Business Services? Ryan, jump out at you through that first half of play.
I think overall it was a pretty decent half from the quarterback, Jack Harvey. They're late in the second quarter, though. A couple of throws, that pick six was a little high. And then he had a man, Darnell, over the middle, and a couple times he threw it a little low. So I've praised him a little bit early on with some of his good throws. So it's only fair to be a little bit critical. You got to be a little more accurate on those throws, give your receivers a chance. And I think overall, though, Baldwin really has spread it out a little bit and offensively, and I like what they're doing, but they just got to execute a little bit more and not make as many mental errors and mistakes. And I think they'll be all right.
You never want to play the what-if game because you can get down that rabbit hole and it goes a long, long ways down there. But, man, that offensive pass interference that I'm anxious to go and look back at the play when I get a chance after the game because it appeared like it was an offensive pass interference that was called at the line of scrimmage kind of early on in that route and not at the end when Grossner made the catch for what looked like a game-tying touchdown at the moment for Baldwin. But that was a huge play in that first half. It not only took points off the board, it pushed the Bulldogs back behind the chains, ended up having to punt. Eudora came back down the next possession, overcame some penalties to take a 2-score lead. You'd really like to have that moment back if you're Baldwin, but they had their moment still after that, and Eudora was able to come up with the big plays in the critical moments in that first half, and with such leads 22-0 here at the break. More of the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show coming up right after this. It's 22-0. Eudora leading Baldwin here at the break on Baldwin Sports Live.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
Halftime here in Baldwin. It's the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. If you're looking for personal service from a local agent, then Kelly Neufeld is your guy. Give him a call at 785-594-1055. Kelly and his team are proud supporters of the Baldwin Bulldogs, and they'd love to support you and your financial future as well. Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it. As we are at the half here in a 22-0 ball game, Eudora with the lead. It's opening night of this 2022 high school football season. A full slate awaits here on this 2022 year. We'll have all the games for you here on Baldwin Sports Live next week. The Bulldogs hit the road for the first time. In fact, they'll have their next two on the road, at Ottawa next Friday night, then at Lewisburg in 2 Fridays from tonight. And then they start district play with Santa Fe Trail back home on the 23rd. Anderson County at home on the 30th in a non-district game that's mixed in there before they close out the year with 2 of their final 3 on the road, Osawatomie and Bishop Ward on the 7th and 14th of October, both road games. And they cap off the regular season with a home game against Wellsville on October 21st back here in Baldwin. So that is the slate that awaits the Bulldogs this year. And they are hoping that they could find some wins before the final game of the season. That's when it took them to get their first win a year ago. And I think through the first 24 minutes of football from what we've seen tonight, this is a team that's much improved from a year ago. They don't have that same, or not quite as much of that same youthful, not sure what I'm doing out here on the varsity football field look as we kind of had sometimes last year with a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores playing in their first moments on the varsity field. There are still a lot of sophomores and juniors now on this team that were a part of that group last year, but feeling a lot more comfortable so far through one half of football. But clearly some work to be done still, and really it's that final step. And I think with every program that has gone through some tough times, and Baldwin's football program has been through some tough years these last few, and the last and the toughest hurdle to get over is that confidence of we can do this, we can finish this, whether it's finish the drive, finish the half, finish a ball game, and win those games. That's a tough thing, and winning is a skill. I don't care what anybody says. It's a skill to know how and be able to win and to finish, and I think that's the next step. We've seen progress already through one half. That's that next step that this team is going to have to take, and we'll see if they can make some strides toward that here in the second half of this ball game.
Yeah, I think definitely this coaching staff can be really happy with the strides that they made just year to year. I mean, you can tell the experience from not only Jack Harvey, but guys, like Riker Grossner stepping up and making some more plays, especially that offensive and defensive line for me. I mean, getting all those guys back, another year of experience, a year of strength conditioning under their belt, and they've played pretty well so far. That was one of their strengths last year, was up front, but this year so far they've been pretty good up front as well. It's nice and stout, and like you said, I think winning is something that you can learn. You can learn how to do it. And it'll be interesting to see in the second half here what kind of mindset the Bulldogs come out with, if they're just going to roll over, and say, we're down 22-0 already to Eudora, who beat us 53-0 last year. This is oh-hum, here we go again. Or are they going to come out and battle their butts off here and try to get back into this football game?
We're going to find out as the second half is going to kick off next. You've been watching the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show, 22-0 Eudora on top of Baldwin, as we go to the second half next here on Baldwin Sports Live.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered, to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services specifically tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots are here. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Off the second half we go. Ryan Hilmer and Bryce Kessler with you here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors. And it is the second half that will start with Eudora up by 22, and Eudora to get the football to start this second half as well, as the Bulldogs will have to kick it off, and a big opening possession to start this second half. You mentioned it there right at the end of the halftime show, Ryan, about what kind of a response do you get, what kind of a fight do you get in this second half, and we're gonna pretty quickly figure that out, because you know what Eudora is going to come do right to start this second half. They're going to come out and run it right at you again, and pound it right at you and make you tackle them, make you man up against them on that line. So the Bulldogs are going to have an early test to see if they are up for that task here in this second half, trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, to me, it's one of the frustrating things facing an offense like this that Eudora runs is, there's not a lot of mystery to it. You kind of know what they're going to do, but it's stopping them. That's a whole nother thing.
No doubt. Connor Murray will kick it off for the Bulldogs
Kicking off the second half
to start this second half of football.
30, Connor Murray.
Adrian Seals goes deep for Eudora. And that kick off the side of the foot of Murray. It's gobbled up at the 39 by Eudora, as we will see the Cardinal offense come back on the field. A look now again at our Codiano State Farm Insurance game plan, Ryan, as we check with how the Bulldogs are faring on what our game plan was tonight for them.
Yeah, I mean, established identity. They did pretty well offensively in their first opening drive. The couple moved the ball pretty well and then played pretty well defensively. But as, of course, the game wore on, Eudora kind of put their running game into tow and then took control of this game a little bit. But sustained offensive possessions, same way. They started off pretty good and then trailed off. But overall, the defensive tackling has been much better, I thought, stopping the run.
First down and 10 for Eudora. Our State Farm game plan brought to you by Codiano State Farm Insurance. Visit CodyIsMyAgent.com to see how he can help you out. Here's Cole Manley on first down for Eudora. And a big run by Manley to start this second half. He goes untouched across midfield to the 42-yard line of Baldwin. A 19-yard first down run by Manley.
Brought down by number 12, Jack Harvey for the Bulldogs.
Harvey makes that tackle eventually.
First down for the Cardinals on the
As we again on those first half numbers, that was the 5th tackle of the game for Harvey, which is the top mark right now on the team. Bulldogs starting safety.
Yeah, which isn't great for a number of reasons. Right. You don't want your starting quarterback making the most tackles. Also, you don't want a safety making the most tackles. That means they're getting to a deep level of your defense.
Bender splits out wide right. They haven't thrown much, but when they have, it's been pretty effective so far for the Cardinals, who actually had more passing yards than rushing yards in the first half. And Manley a little bit of a tough time getting that ball handed off to Errol Seaman. Eventually did, and Seaman takes it to the 38 for 4 yards.
Yeah, the Cardinals caught a little bit of a break that time, I think. That looked like Mannion, his knee might have been down when he was handing that ball off, but he got the handoff off.
Second down and 6 for Eudora. Opening drive of the second half. They scored touchdowns on each of their first 2 drives of the game. Then the defense scored a touchdown for Eudora to put up 22-0. And their third and final offensive possession of the first half ended in an interception on the final play of the half. Option keeper for Manley. Takes it to the 30-yard line. Flag comes in after a 13 penalty first half. We have our first penalty marker of the second half, 1 minute and 32 seconds in.
What do you think, over under for the second half? You're going to have over 13?
I'm going to go under.
Okay, I hope so.
I'm going under more so out of just hope.
Yeah.
And this is a personal foul against Baldwin. He didn't signal any particular variety of personal foul, just a personal foul in general. So that will take it down to the 14-yard line on a half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, obviously not the way you wanted to start the second half for the Bulldogs. A couple chunk plays, a big penalty, and now you're already backed up at your own 16-yard line.
On the 16-yard line.
Officially, they put it at the 16, where it is first down and 10. Opening drive of the second half for the Eudora Cardinals, who lead it 22-0. A 6-5 team a year ago made a run all the way to the quarterfinals of the 4A state playoffs before losing to Bishop Miege. Manley with a quick throw out to Seals, who has been very dangerous in the open field. Not this time, though. A very, very good open field tackle made on Seals that time by Capel.
Tackle on the play by number 1, Tristan Capel for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's a couple times that Capel's made a really nice tackle out in space. That's something we talked about in our keys to the game is better tackling, and that's a good example of it there. You can't always gang tackle somebody. You got to make a play out in space on your own.
Seals is not an easy guy to make those plays on in space. Very shifty runner, quick, elusive runner. We've seen him make a couple of big plays tonight, but not there. So second down and 8 at the 14. Nearly 800-yard receiver last year was Seals with 10 touchdowns. Another penalty, this time a pre-snap penalty. So it's a false start on Eudora. Push him back 5. I'll let you know if I want to change my over/under call after this possession is over. Well, Eudora with now 11 penalties in this game. I mean, that's certainly an ugly number if you're the Cardinals. A little easier to take when you are winning a ball game, but that will give first-year head coach Drew Steffen plenty to harp on with his guys, despite the win. It kind of, if they do end up winning this game, that would give him something to still go. And maybe Baldwin can, at some point, make those start hurting the Cardinals. At this point, they haven't.
On the flip side, they just keep handing the opportunities.
Somebody needs to step up and make a play. Seaman able to keep his balance after he was hit early by Davidson. But a good job by Errol Seaman, keeping his balance, able to take it down to the 10-yard line for 9 yards. So it'll bring up a third down in about 4 or 5.
Brings up third down.
Call it 3rd and 5 at the 11. 3.5 minutes into this opening drive of the second half. Eudora looking to add to a 22-0 lead. Hubler motions. Seaman keeps it right up the middle on a give from Manley and spins across the goal line for his first touchdown of the year. It's an 11-yard score from Errol Seaman, and it's 28-0 Eudora.
Yeah, almost untouched there. Just a wide open hole, able to walk his way into the end zone.
They'll bring Gage Baumgartner on for the extra point try. Baumgartner so far is 2 for 2 officially. He missed his third one, but it was wiped off by a penalty, and they ended up with a 2-point conversion instead. And this kick is good. 29-0 Eudora. 8:03 to play in the third. You're watching Bulldog football on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846, serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
Eudora on top of Baldwin, 29-0 with 8:03 left to play in the third quarter here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors. Cardinals, a 6-play, 54-yard drive to start the second half. 3:57 off the clock for the touchdown. And this ball is played by Hirschman at the goal line. Would have been better suited letting that ball just go on into the end zone for the touchback. But instead, the Bulldogs will start deep in their own territory once again around the 11 or 12-yard line. And it looks like Hirschman may be a bit slow getting up after that tackle as well. So hope the young man's okay after that return here. 7:58 left to play in this third quarter. Baldwin Sports Live is presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the #1 land brokerage for farm, ranch, and recreational properties. Local Baldwin City brokers Chad and Penny Shelton are ready to help you find your next dream property. Check out the Appanoose Creek Retreat in Franklin County. It's a picturesque slice of heaven for the avid outdoorsman. Almost 115 acres with a fully furnished solar-powered cabin as well as a part of this property. It's a stunning property. You got to check it out. Go to HaydenOutdoors.com and get in touch with Shad or Penny Sheldon to go check it out and perhaps find your next dream property. Email Shad at HaydenOutdoors.com or Penny at HaydenOutdoors.com. Proud supporters of the Baldwin Bulldogs here on Baldwin Sports Live as we start year 2 of our Baldwin Sports Live venture. Hopefully everybody enjoyed getting a chance to watch the Bulldogs compete throughout last season. Ryan and I are glad to be back to bring you more Bulldog coverage here in the 2022-2023 school year as Hirschman's able to walk off the field under his own power. Well, Baldwin opened the ball game with a 9-play drive. Then they backed that up with an 8-play drive. Both of those possessions made it down into the Eudora red zone. One of them, in fact, for a brief moment, thought it found the end zone for a touchdown. But a penalty negated what would have been a 14-yard touchdown pass on the second drive of the game for Baldwin. Their next 2 possessions, however, have gone 2 plays with a pick 6 and 3 plays and a punt. So we'll see if they can refine that momentum they had early on in this game on the offensive side as they start with a handoff to Connor Murray. And he takes it out to the 16-yard line. 3-yard run on first down for the Bulldogs.
Connor Murray on the carry.
6 carries for 18 yards tonight for Murray. He busted out a big run on his first carry of the game. Went for 12 yards on his first carry of the ball game, but has been bottled up since.
You got to credit Eudora defensively making some adjustments from those opening couple of drives. They've really been a lot more stout here as the game's worn on.
Now propel the Cardinals down to a 29-0 lead. With a little more than 7 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Harvey fakes the handoff this time and fires a quick slant across the middle to Darnell, and his tight end has it out at the 24-yard line. 8-yard completion and a Bulldog first down. So there you go. High percentage look, nice ball over the middle. You talk about accuracy, Ryan, and he put that one right in the numbers of Darnell. Good ball there from Harvey.
That was perfect. Perfect pass, perfect play call there. I like that kind of 2 plays playing off of each other. You get that play action. Looks like just like the first play they ran, but a little pop pass to the tight end.
Give him 9 to the 27-yard line. First down and 10. Baldwin under 7 to go in the third. Need an answer right here. It's something on the board for the Bulldogs. It took them almost halfway through the season to get their first points on the board last year. This offense isn't going to take that long. They've looked a lot better so far than where they stood this time a year ago. And now Harvey's got a little bit of a limp going on as well. That's certainly not what you want to see if you're Baldwin, your junior quarterback, and the dual threat with a bit of a gimp right now on that right leg. And Bob Lisher is going to take a timeout after that carry by Connor Murray picked up 2. We'll step aside. You're watching Bulldog football presented by Hayden Outdoors with 6:25 to go in the third. It's 29-0 Eudora.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
Second down and 8 for the Bulldogs on their own 29-yard line. 6:25 left to play in the third. Out of the timeout, Harvey wants to throw. Throws it high for Darnell and overshoots it, and it's picked off by Seals. And now Darnell's limping after he looks like he pulled up with a cramp. Seals back inside the 20. He is pushed out of bounds by Martin. There is a couple of penalty flags. I think they came in post-interception, though.
Intercepted by number 4,
We'll let the officials clean up the flag here. But it's a second interception thrown tonight from Harvey as it stands.
The interception. Flags on the play.
And it is an illegal block at the back against Eudora. But it was on the interception return. So the turnover will hold, and it will be Eudora football, just a little bit further back from the goal line than where they thought they might have it. Second turnover of the game for the Bulldogs. Both of them have been interceptions. And with a 29-0 lead, the Cardinals will start this possession just shy of midfield at their own 49-yard line.
I think Darnell started to cramp up at the end of that. Didn't help that it was a little bit overthrown, but yeah, another big negative play for the Bulldogs. Got to try to climb their way back into this thing. It's getting harder and harder all the time.
So after those two really good series to start the game, 9 plays and 8 plays, they have run just a total of 9 plays in their 3 possessions since.
It will be first down for the Cardinals on their own.
And for Eudora, meanwhile, their 4 possessions so far in this game, 7 plays, 11 plays, 5 plays, and 6 plays. 3 of those 4 have ended in touchdowns. And the shortest of those drives, the 5-play possession, was the possession that ended at halftime with the interception. First and 10 for their own 49. Eudora back to the ground they go. Errol Seaman breaking tackles, and he is loose inside the 30. Capel trying to run him down on the angle, cuts it back at the 15, at the 10, 5, touchdown. 51 yards for Errol Seaman, his second touchdown of the game.
Yeah, you kind of just tell the Bulldog defense getting worn down a little bit as this game's gone on. A lot of guys cramping up. Have multiple guys stretching on the sideline here, one cramping up on the field. And this is kind of what Eudora does to you on offense. They'll just pound you away and try to tire you out. And then third quarter comes around, fourth quarter, and you are dead tired.
And that is where the depth last year really became an issue for Baldwin. They do have more depth in terms of just numbers, but the reality is a lot of that quote-unquote depth is more underclassmen. Great sign for the future, but right now it still is, as far as just the varsity crew, not a lot of depth there. A lot of guys having to play both ways, having to play every snap for Baldwin, and maybe some of that starting to wear on him here in the second half of this ball game as Eudora has pushed the lead out to 35-0 now with 5:58 left to play in this third quarter, and we will have a extra point pending. And actually, they have brought the football all the way back out here to the 27-yard line.
There was a flag, I guess.
So perhaps that play, with the injury and everything, I kind of just had stopped paying attention to what was going on out there, but it looks like maybe this touchdown is going to be wiped off. Vance Morgan, the injured Bulldog, again, just cramps, but he's able to walk off the field now.
And it's a hot, humid night. It's cooling off a little bit now as we get to the evening, but and not your typical kind of football weather that you're looking for.
So we're going to see if we get a call from the officials. I didn't see. They still have the points up on the scoreboard. It's 74 degrees right now here in Baldwin. No wind to speak of, but it is a pretty humid evening, which doesn't always help for those cramps. 79% humidity right now.
That'll do it.
So did you see a signal of what the penalty was, Ryan?
No, I didn't see a signal.
They've now taken the points off of the board, so
I assume must have been a holding or something like that to bring it back.
well, we're going to call it a hold, although a chop block or a block at the back would be a good guess tonight, too. We've seen multiple of those. So as it stands, it's still a 23-yard run for Seaman, but no touchdown for him. So they're going to go right back to him and see if he can earn it on this carry. Tackle made at the 15-yard line by Guy Morgan, but another 13 yards for Errol Seaman that time, and it's first down and 10 at the 15 for Eudora.
Errol Seaman on the carry.
And I mean, it's also the element of it being week one. You're not really used to the game shape yet. You know, you get into game shape as you play games, obviously, but you can only scrimmage and practice so much, and you can't really simulate having to play both sides of the ball and be out there every single play. It's tough.
Yeah, and play it at that high level.
Yeah.
It's every coach will tell you, I'll practice. You want them to practice with that same intensity, but it's obviously, you're saying it's certainly not the same, and it's starting to wear on the Bulldogs now. See if they can bow up, though, and shut down Seaman, who has had 2 big runs to start this, and now a delay a game penalty. So is it too late, Ryan, for me to take the over on that?
4 or 5?
Yeah, that's, well, let's see. So that is, we're now at the 16 penalties. Or 17 penalties. So we had, what, 13 the first half? That's 4.
Okay.
Five-yard penalty. Still first down, 20-yard line.
1st and 15 now from the 20-yard line. Seaman looked like he lost the football, but Manley dives in there to cover it up for Eudora. So there was a window of opportunity for Baldwin. They punched it out of the hands of Seaman. And now a penalty flag comes flying in. One of the Bulldogs went down. Tristan Bass went down late, way back behind the play out there in the secondary. And the official staring right at one of the Eudora Cardinals fired his flag high up in the air. So it looks like we may have a personal foul here. Official dropped his penalty card out of his pocket. He's got to try to keep track of what's going on, too. He's running out of room to write on there. Yeah. It's a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Did they just signal he's ejected?
Looked like it.
I haven't seen anybody come off of the field.
I've been getting the feeling that there's a little bit of animosity or something.
Did it not look like the official gave the old
boot him out?
Thumb ejection there? Maybe not. So the play will stand. It's 1 yard run. Here we'll see if they. Again, it didn't. I mean, it looked to me like he's saying.
Maybe he was signaling you want to take it or something, but.
Or maybe like he yanked the player down. Maybe they make. I don't know what that signal was, but regardless, it's another penalty on Eudora. And this ball is out to Seals for a first down. So they're not quite for a first down, excuse me. The chains are so far apart on a 1st and 29, but they pick up almost a first down out of it. On 1st and 29, they gain 24 on the completion to Adrian Seals.
Tackled by Dylan Reichard.
Seals had a big game, 82 yards through the air and a touchdown, and he's been a big play machine for Eudora. Sets up a 3rd down and 5. The scoreboard still had first down, but that running play on that fumble, the down counted since it was a post-play penalty. So this is a 3rd down and 5. Manley keeps it. More penalty flags come flying in. It's a 2-yard run by Manley, but let's once again check the laundry.
Number 30, Connor Murray on the stop. Flags on the play. Number 52, Jake Van Horn, also in on the stop.
This is a face mask against Baldwin. 5-yard face mask variety. It's going to be a half the distance to the goal penalty here, which will net them a first down. So from the 4, it's first down and goal with 3:33 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
First and goal for the Cardinals at the 4-yard line.
Errol Seaman started this drive with what they thought was going to be a touchdown. Let's see if they go right back to him down here on the goal line now at the 4. They do. And he is short. Mark him at the 1. 3-yard run for Seaman.
Number 8, Errol Seaman on the carry.
Second down and goal with the nose of the ball as close to being in the end zone without being in the end zone as it could be. Seaman again. This time he's in. Second touchdown of the game for Errol Seaman. And with 2:21 left to play in the third, it's a 35-0 Eudora lead on the 1-yard score by Errol Seaman.
Well, they just kept going back to him and back to him again and again. Eventually, they worked their way in there without a penalty.
Baumgartner for the kick. And this one is no good. 35-0 Eudora. 2:21 to go in the third on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
35-0 lead for Eudora on top of Baldwin with 2:21 left to play in the third quarter here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors. The latest scoring drive for the Cardinals, 7 plays, 67 yards, 3 minutes, 51 seconds off the clock, and a 1-yard Errol Seaman touchdown run to cap it off. Second touchdown run of the game for Seaman, who was not the starter in this game, replaced Octavius Lyles, who scored the opening touchdown of the game. And since coming in, Seaman with 80 yards on 13 carries and a pair of touchdowns. On the return from the 6-yard line, and a late tackle out of bounds, it looked like. In a night that's been filled with penalties, we didn't get one there. I thought that tackle on Jackson Rude looked to be a little bit out of the boundary there. But Rude's return brings it back to the 19-yard line, and that's where the Bulldogs will start from.
Missed your chance there.
I thought about going with a little Rude.
Yep. So here we go for Baldwin.
They did throw the penalty, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
The official right there did not, but the official way up the sideline here did throw a flag, or at least he threw a flag. I didn't. Yeah, now the other official with the football, he's trotting way up. Wait a second. They're going to re-kick this thing, I think. Nope, they're just getting a different football out there. All right, well.
After all this confusion, Baldwin's going to be on offense. I can guarantee you that.
There you go. So they did get the personal foul, which is good because like I said, I did think it looked like it was a pretty late hit out of bounds there. So 15 yards, moves it out to the 34-yard line on our 20th penalty of the ball game. 15 of them now against Eudora. First and 10 at the 39. Harvey, quick throw through the hands of Darnell, incomplete.
Pass from Harvey intended for Darnell. Incomplete. Brings up second.
Just want to try to establish a rhythm back offensively. Right now, you've kind of been stifled time after time here, and just get back to the way you were opening the game. Those first 2 drives looked really good. You got a good rhythm, good balance of run and pass. Just try to put something together, maybe not for this game, but moving forward here, try to get some momentum going offensively.
A lot of the times I feel like it's defensive pressure, like the defensive line getting on the quarterback causing pressure, which causes the efficiency to go down. But really tonight they've done a pretty good job keeping Jack clean. Another good pocket to throw from for Harvey. And that ball ends up in between the 2 targets, Grossner and Capel, but there are a couple of penalty flags. And
Pass from the quarterback, Harvey, intended for number 11.
We'll see if it's a defensive pass interference here against Eudora. On what will be our 21st combined penalty of the ball game, and it is pass interference against Eudora.
That's something that can happen, though, when you just try to take the top off the defense, run a go, and get a pass interference, a big play. You can change field position quickly.
Moves the football out to the 49-yard line. And it's a 1st and 10 for Baldwin.
Pass interference. First down, Bulldogs on the 49-yard line.
2 minutes left to play, 3rd quarter. Murray nowhere to go. He was met immediately after taking the handoff by Max Mitchell. It's a loss of a yard for Murray.
Tackle on the play by number 64, Max Mitchell.
Bring up a 2nd down and 11 for the Bulldogs. Murray comes off the field and Morgan replaces him in the backfield. Fake to Morgan. Harvey on the rollout. Throws it low and behind Guy Morgan. Incomplete pass will bring up a 3rd down and 11 for Baldwin.
Pass from Harvey intended for Morgan, incomplete, brings up 3rd down.
Harvey continues to stretch out his calf too, it looks like. Battling through, the backup is Grossner.
He's also been getting stretched out on the sideline a lot.
Here's the 3rd and 11. Quick flip out to Grossner. And a good job by the Eudora defense. They converged quickly on Riker Grossner and made sure that he got nowhere near the 1st down sticks. Mike Barron finished off the tackle, but it was Gage Baumgartner who made the initial hit. It's a 1-yard completion, and it will bring up a 4th down and 10. Harvey has been punting out of this formation all night long in these situations. We'll see if that's the call again or whether they go for it here around midfield facing a 4th and 10. They will throw. It's Grossner on the slant, hauls it in, but he immediately tackled at the 49 by Baumgartner again. So similar to the other side of the field, a catch, but nothing coming from it, and now Grossner comes hobbling off of the field. Turnover on downs for Baldwin, gives it back over to Eudora with 34 seconds left to play in quarter number 3. Eudora has only been stopped the 1 time tonight, and that was on the interception by Grossner on the final play of the 1st half. And found the end zone on each of their 4 possessions outside of that one, and they've also added a defensive score tonight.
Yeah, you definitely never want to wave the white flag, but I think it's time. Some of the starters coming out on defense, you don't want to get anybody hurt first game of the year, especially with all the cramps we've been dealing with. Still a whole nother quarter to go.
That will cost Eudora 5 more yards.
Getting close.
It almost has become, if you're Eudora, you can't cry about it, so you just laugh about it at this point. And again, a lot easier to overcome it when you're up 35-0, but that's 17 penalties for 163 yards tonight for Eudora.
Still first down.
That's something that football coaches will tell you, though. Good football teams, they'll make you pay for that. And Baldwin, still a developing football team. Still trying to learn how to win, learn how to stay in games.
Competitive start to this ball game. They were matching blow for blow the first few series of this game, but Eudora finally was able to open up a little cushion, and they have won the war of attrition in this game as they have continued to do that. Run the ball right at the Bulldogs and wear them down. Jake Van Horn makes the tackle at the 45-yard line. It's an 11-yard run, though, by Errol Seaman. And that gets back the penalty yardage and then some to make it a 2nd down and 4 for Eudora. And they will not snap it before the end of the quarter. We'll go to the 4th, 35-0 Eudora here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it. Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
We head off to the 4th quarter here in Baldwin tonight. 35-0 Eudora on top of the Bulldogs. Baldwin Sports Live is presented by Hayden Outdoors, also brought to you in part by Rice Precision Manufacturing, a family-owned company in Baldwin City that services many different industries from food processing to heavy and light industrial, oil and gas, and many more. With state-of-the-art machine tools and a great work environment that offers excellent pay and competitive benefits, it's the perfect place to start your next career. Find out more by emailing jobs@riceprecision.com. And I tell you what, that's been a job tonight. The officials have got their workout in, throwing those yellow flags. Another penalty on Eudora, a false start.
I tell you, Eudora must have a pretty tricky snap count. So that's, I don't know how many false starts that is. Several.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Ryan. That's 4. Of their 18 penalties, 4 false starts, a delay of game, an offside, 3 holds, 2 chop blocks, 2 block in the backs, 2 personal fouls, a face mask, a pass interference. Both ways, offensive and defensive. And this is Errol Seaman to the 45 of Baldwin, 4-5 to bring up 3rd and 4. And another Bulldog is down.
Number 8.
And this looks to be more than just a cramp, potentially. 11:49 left to play in this 4th quarter. Well, the night's starting to wear on the Bulldogs here as they trail 35-0, and Tristan Bass is fortunately quickly back up to his feet. Baldwin Sports Live also brought to you in part by the Bullpen. Check out Wildcat Wednesday specials down at the Bullpen. Or if you're wanting to go and test out the singing voice, Karaoke Thursdays, Ryan. What's your karaoke go to? Don't really have one?
Carry on my wayward
all right.
son.
Well, Kansas, nice. Live entertainment on many of the Friday and Saturday nights as well down at the Bullpen. And, of course, it's football season. Sunday football. Every TV down at the Bullpen will have big games on. So check them out on Facebook. Bullpen Baldwin City, open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. and Sundays 10 to 8 at your locally owned sports bar with a classic ballpark food in downtown Baldwin City, the Bullpen.
Yeah, like you said, it's really starting to wear on the Bulldogs now, though, this game. You said that might have been a little more than a cramp. You hope not, but the war of attrition, like you called it, that's basically what it's been, is Eudora just trying to go 3 yards in a cloud of dust and try to break out those chunk plays whenever they can. They've done a good job at it. You got to give Cardinals credit. Stuck to their game plan well.
Now you look at time of possession, which was relatively even in the first half. It has taken a big turn to favor Eudora in the second half as Seaman takes that ball down to the 34-yard line. It's another 11 yards on that carry.
Number 8, Errol Seaman on the carry. Tackle number 3, John
So Eudora, as they continue this possession, now a minute old, they have now had the ball for almost, in fact, now with the minute gone here, they've had it now for 10 more minutes time of possession in this game than Baldwin. It was about a 3-minute difference at halftime.
Now an unsportsmanlike on Baldwin to tack it on.
And we've talked about, obviously, the penalties and the numerous penalties we've had. That's 6 now on Baldwin. So for the Bulldogs' part, they haven't really contributed to the majority of these penalties. The majority of them have been against Eudora. 18 of the now 24 penalties called in this game have gone against Eudora. But
several of them kind of backbreakers, though.
Exactly.
15-yarders.
Yep.
First down Cardinals at the Bulldog 19-yard line.
The timing and the spot and the type of penalty that has made up those 6 for Baldwin have been critical ones. This one not necessarily falling into that category here with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, but it nevertheless gives a 1st and 10 inside the red zone for Eudora. Keep it on the ground with Errol Seaman. And just tries to run through Bulldog defenders, and he is in for the 19-yard touchdown run, and a very strong finish to that run by Seaman, who has found pay dirt now for the 3rd time in this game as he has gone over the century mark of the ground as well. Big night for Errol Seaman, a 6', 175-pound sophomore who was the number 2 running back for this team behind the starter Octavius Lyles, who cramped up, or at least that was what appeared to be a cramp for Lyles. He has never come back into the game, so perhaps, and we hope not, but perhaps it was more than just a cramp, or also Seaman came in, was toting the rock just fine, and obviously things have gone just fine for them until there. That botched snap, a high snap, and they end up having to try to make something out of nothing there. Baumgartner is tracked down by Vance Morgan in the backfield, so the extra point try no good. Was there another flag?
There was, but picking it up, I think.
Okay. We'll take the break with 8:55 to go in the ball game. Clock continues to run, so actually we might just leave it right here. And while we have a moment, Ryan, let's take a look at our upcoming broadcast schedule for you as well, as Eudora now leads this game 41-0. And there you see our upcoming broadcasts. Next Friday night on the road at Ottawa, 7 o'clock kick, 6:40 with the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. Thursday is the week after that, on the 15th, our first volleyball match of the year when Baldwin hosts Paola. And then the next night on Friday, again on the road to take on Lewisburg for the Baldwin Bulldogs. Our upcoming broadcast schedule for you there. And while you're at it, go ahead and pick up your latest edition and subscribe to the Baldwin City Community News. You can find our schedule in the newspaper, Baldwin City Community News, your local weekly paper with the latest news, opinions, sports, ads, and more. You can subscribe for just $5 a month and stay up to date with the latest local news from the Baldwin City Community Newspaper. Stop by downtown at the Nook at 703 8th Street to subscribe. Local weekly newspaper, just $5 per month.
Tristan Bass and number 9, Jackson Rude.
Bass and Rude go back deep for the Bulldogs. With, again, that clock continuing to run, so when the touchdown occurred, there was about 8:40 left, and now you can see that it's down to about 7:40, and Eudora decides to take a timeout at that point. So we get a little bit more time, right?
It's been a pretty long game, you got to say, with all the penalties time-wise. It's been wearing on not only the players, but everybody here.
There's a good crowd on hand tonight as the Bulldog Bash, first home game of the year, and the crowd certainly showed up to support the guys tonight. and cheer them on in this ball game against Eudora. And there was quite a bit to cheer in that first couple of possessions of this game. Really, for the first quarter and a half of this one, it was pretty much blow for blow. These two teams were trading punches, and it looked like early in that, or late, I should say, in the first quarter, it looked like Baldwin had scored a game-tying touchdown, but an offensive pass interference penalty wiped it away, and really that was kind of the end, if you will, of all that good happenings early on. Since then, Baldwin has, that was what ended up being an eight-play drive that came up empty, but since then they have not had more than a 5-play drive. And offensive numbers since then, their drives, -9, 7, 14, and 2 on the yardage after they went 64 yards and 30 yards, which is a little bit deceiving because, again, it was better than that with the penalties and then an 11-yard sack. So it was really about basically back-to-back 60-yard drives to start this game, but unfortunately the points didn't come, and you would have loved to see some points come out of that to just change the confidence and the momentum of the ball game. But Eudora dodged some bullets early on that. They've dodged plenty of bullets with the penalty bug tonight. And ball may have come out towards the end there, and it did come out, but Baldwin able to get back on it. Guy Morgan able to not only field it, but then scoop up his own fumble.
First and 10 Bulldogs on their own 45-yard line.
That was a really fun start to the night, though. I have to admit, this is a little bit of a glimpse into what the Bulldogs offense can look like. They were really moving the ball down the field with ease almost, spreading the ball around, running it, passing it. Jack looked good. Since then, like you mentioned, it's been tough sledding. You got to give Eudora a lot of credit, too. Made some adjustments, kind of bottled up Connor Murray, not let him break free.
It's kind of there's not a real necessarily definition of the big plays, the clutch type plays in this game, but it feels like if you go back and you chart, okay, what, the big third downs or the big sudden change plays or the big moments, it feels like all of those plays have been won by Eudora tonight.
Yeah.
And have not only become the difference in the ball game in a big part, but also those are the momentum type plays, and especially when you're a young team trying to again learn how to finish ball games, learn how to finish drives, win ball games. Those are the kinds of moments in games that you need to come through on, and Bulldogs will learn from it tonight, try to get back to work next week for a road tilt with Ottawa. Another handoff up the middle for Connor Murray. Chugs forward for another 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, I agree with you, though. When we stand up here, we talk about learning how to win and a young team kind of developing, learning their identity. That's part of it. It's just some of those swing plays that we talk about, a second and long, getting a good positive gain to set yourself up with a 3rd and short, just like we're seeing here. That's those little things that can add up over the course of a football game that they help you win.
Harvey is without his top 2 targets right now. Darnell and Grossner both on the sideline working on cramps. So let's see if they stick it on the ground here on 3rd and 3. It's Harvey himself trying to get the edge, and does. Jack lowers his shoulder into the defender and takes it down to the 39, and now he grabs for his right calf. A 9-yard run by Harvey. It may be time to go ahead and, well, I was going to say have Harvey come out, but Grossner's your backup. He's been battling cramps. Cody Buck would be your next guy probably, and he's battling an injury right now as well and some sickness. And it does look like Grossner is coming in, but perhaps just in to be a wide receiver again. And there was another penalty, this time against Baldwin. So wipe off the 9-yard run by Harvey, bring the ball back to the 42-yard line. It's a hold against Baldwin. Man.
Still 3rd down.
Officials have been pretty consistent, though. Gotta give them credit for that.
Yeah, no, we've been talking about it, not because of the fact that they've thrown so many, more of the fact, they have thrown a lot, but we're not saying they haven't been penalties. It's just been that type of an opening night type of a ball game, and unfortunately it's caused things to drag a little bit. How about this? Grossner can't haul it in.
He had his man, though, down the near sideline. Just overthrew him about maybe 5 yards.
A good move by Grosner to get around Wyatt Summers, the reserve corner who's in there trying to man him up, and Grosner had a chance for a big one.
That's one of those, Harvey, he throws a nice deep ball. You can see nice spiral, just drops it right in there. It's something that Baldwin's going to be able to use their advantage this year, as long as he can stay healthy. I hope everybody stays healthy out there.
4th and 13. Nice pass to Gunnar Reichard. He is taken down at midfield. They'll be well short of the first down markers. Isaac Holt makes the tackle for Eudora. So not nearly enough. On 4th and 13, they get 8, but they'll turn it over on downs as Gunnar comes up with his first reception of his high school career. Sophomore wide receiver. So turnover on downs with 2:53 left to play in the ball game. And Eudora will take over with a running clock. They won't have to do a whole lot here to put the finishing touches on this ball game.
Ball goes over on downs. 1st and 10 Cardinals at the 50-yard line.
The big question now, Ryan, is your over-under here, because we're sitting at 12 second-half penalties. You said the over-under on 13, right?
I did.
Because that's what we had in the first half. So
I can almost guarantee you we're going to sneak a couple more in. Almost.
Well, it's going to be hard if they're going to do the old victory formation kneel downs. If we get a penalty on these, then I'm just going home. You got the post-game show. I'm out of here.
Several false starts tonight.
So Cole Manley will. Actually, it's not Cole now. They have brought in a new quarterback. Connor Watson has come in to take the handoff and take a knee. He'll have to do that a couple more times as the clock ticks away here in the final minutes of this ball game. 41-0 looks like will be the final in this game. And Eudora will certainly be happy with a victory tonight. Baldwin will hope that they can take some of the positives from early on in this ball game, build on those into next week's road game with Ottawa. Coming up here on the post-game show, stay with us. Right after this break, we will have our Farm Bureau Financial Services Player of the Game. That's coming up right after this. We'll check all the final numbers with New Frontier Tax and Business Services as well. So don't go anywhere. More to come here on the broadcast when this clock hits zeros, which will take another kneel down here from Watson. Technically, they're going to have to turn it over on downs unless they get creative with the clock here. So we'll see if they decide to just say close enough. Both teams look like they're willing to just say it's close enough. So that'll do it. And game one is in the books. 41-0 Eudora over Baldwin. Your final here tonight from Liston Stadium. Coming up next, the player of the game presented by Farm Bureau Financial Services as we wrap it up in our post-game show right after this on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
All right, we are back here at Liston Stadium in Baldwin City, where it is a final tonight, 41-0 Eudora over the Baldwin Bulldogs. And it is time to name tonight's Farm Bureau Financial Services player of the game for the Bulldogs. In a tough night, 41-0 loss. So for the Bulldogs tonight, Ryan, we're going with the young man who not only had a turnover on the defensive side of the football with an interception, but he also had 5 grabs, a team high for 45 yards in this game. Riker Grossner, tonight's Farm Bureau Financial Services player of the game.
Yeah, I thought it was a really gutsy performance from Riker Grossner. We were kind of looking for somebody who was going to step up and fill that void for Cole Mahaffey, and he definitely showed that he can do that. He had that interception, like you mentioned, and a touchdown catch that was eventually called back. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. I'll be interested to see where that pass interference was. But, yeah, I mean, I think Riker battled cramps just like a lot of guys did. I think a lot of guys had a gutsy performance. Could have probably given it to the offensive and defensive line as well. I think they battled their guts out as well. So a tough game on the scoreboard, but I think overall, you know, it's an improvement from last year. So moving forward, I think positives to build on for sure.
Play of the game brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services. From insurance to investments, wealth management, and financial planning, Farm Bureau Financial Services is there to help you protect what matters most. Call today and set up a meeting with your local Farm Bureau team at 785-594-1055. It's your future. Let's protect it. Final numbers for you coming up right after this. You're watching the Baldwin Sports Live post-game show. 41-0 the final tonight, Eudora over Baldwin.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services specifically tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots are here. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846, serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
$41-0 the final score tonight. Eudora over Baldwin. The Cardinals start their season 1-0 as the Baldwin Bulldogs dropped to 0-1 to start this 2022 season. It's time to check the numbers. Brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services at 608 High Street in Baldwin City, where they want to remind you that it's never too late. Or never too early, I should say. It is too late. You can't be too late to do your taxes. It's never too early, though, to start doing those taxes and thinking about tax season. Call for some helpful tips on how to best prepare and learn about the upcoming changes to maximize your potential return. Timely, accurate, and reliable services at an affordable cost to help your business grow and succeed. Visit newfrontiertbs.com or call 785-594-1204 to learn more. Eudora with the 41-0 victory tonight. 422 yards of offense for the Cardinals, 246 on the ground, 176 through the air. They were efficient tonight. They averaged almost 10 yards per play, Ryan, 9.8 yards per play in this ball game. 18 plays of over 10 yards, 8 over 20 yards, and you have to have some of those big plays to overcome 18 penalties, which cost them 168 yards. Of course, not all that was offensive penalties and yardage, but nevertheless, a lot of it was. And they overcame those with some big plays in their offense tonight.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it for Baldwin defensively, how this year they were going to have to eliminate giving up some of those big chunk plays. And, for most of the first quarter, they did a pretty good job there, but Eudora really just really pounded the ball and 3 yards at a time. That gets old after a while, having to tackle those big guys. And then before you know it, you're tired, and then you bust out, open a hole, and then you're chasing somebody down the field. So it's tough first game. Eudora is a really good football team. You got to give them a lot of credit. They came out, they fought hard, they hit them in the mouth. But overall, I think, like I said, a lot of positives to take away from it still.
Baldwin, 132 yards of offense tonight, 31 on the ground, 101 through the air. They had 105 yards after 2 possessions. Well, after almost 2 possessions, they were at 105 yards until their last play of their second possession, which was an 11-yard sack. So from that point on, just 21 yards of offense for the Bulldogs. So those first 2 possessions certainly looked promising. But in the end, they averaged 3.5 yards per play in this game tonight, just 1.9 yards per rush. Only 3 plays of over 10 yards, just 2 20-plus yard plays, and those all came in those opening 2 possessions of the game. We'd like to see, I hope we'll see some more of that rhythm we saw early. And, I mean, we will at some point throughout this season, but they looked like a pretty fun machine there in those first couple of possessions. So it's in you, and as against a good team, as you mentioned, in Eudora, a team that's going to win a lot of ball games this year. So it's there. Now it's just a matter of consistently seeing that out of the guys from the start of the game through the end of the fourth quarter. And tonight you could tell that it started to wear on them a little bit. Some of the individual numbers here as we continue to check the numbers, brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services. Cole Manley, 8 of 11 for $176. 1 touchdown, 1 pick for Eudora. His top target was Adrian Seals, 4 grabs, 82 yards and a touchdown. 1 catch for 40 from Matthew Majette, 1 for 36 for Braylon Hubler, and 2 for 18 from Jaden Ham. Errol Seaman had to come in as the backup running back after Octavius Lyles had 7 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown to start this game, but went out of the game after the first play of the second possession for Eudora. Never came back, and well, Errol Seaman took the baton and ran with it. 17 carries, 126 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He was impressive, the sophomore back for Eudora in his moment to shine tonight. Cole Manley added 5 carries for 42 yards. For the Bulldogs, Jack Harvey, 10 out of 20 through the air, 101. No touchdowns, 2 picks. Added 4 carries for 10 yards tonight. Connor Murray, 10 carries, 26 yards on the ground. Leading receiver in receptions was Riker Grosner. He caught 5 balls for 45 yards. Darnell led the team in yards with 4 catches for 48 yards this evening. And Gunnar Reichard added 1 grab for 8 yards there on that final Bulldog possession. Leading tackler this evening for the Bulldogs, Jack Harvey, and Brett Davidson right behind him as the second leading tackler in this ball game. And we talked about our Farm Bureau Financial Services player of the game, and we went with Riker Grosser. I think, to me, Brett Davidson probably would have been on that list of guys, an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman. They don't get the sexy stats necessarily that jump off the page, but I thought he made a couple of nice plays for the Bulldogs. So give him a little love as maybe our honorary mention of the player of the game tonight, as he played pretty stout on both lines, I thought, tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said before, I think the linemen, they really fought their butts off tonight, and they gave everything they had. But like I said, when you're getting hit in the mouth every single time, the chop blocked, and you're getting held, and you're getting pushed in the back, it gets old after a while. So, they held their own for a while, and I think they can keep their heads held high going into next week at Ottawa, and probably put together a pretty good game plan for that game.
So there you go. There you see that next game, as Ryan mentioned, next Friday night, 6:40 on the air of the Baldwin State Bank pregame show, 7 o'clock kickoff, Baldwin at Eudora, right here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors, the #1 land brokerage for farm, ranch, and recreational properties. Contact your local Baldwin City brokers, Shad and Penny Shelton. Give them an email to shad@haydenoutdoors.com or penny@haydenoutdoors.com. And check out haydenoutdoors.com for all the beautiful properties that are around this part of the country that Shad and Penny would love to help make your next dream property. That's haydenoutdoors.com. That's going to do it for us tonight here on opening night from Liston Stadium. Your final, Eudora 41, Baldwin nothing here on opening night. It's a shutout victory for the Cardinals, and they will be at home to host Bonner Springs next week, while the Baldwin Bulldogs will hit the road to take on the Ottawa Cyclones. For Ryan Hilmer, I'm Bryce Kessler. Thanks for joining us here on opening night as the Bulldogs fall 41-0 to the Eudora Cardinals. Until next Friday night, we say so long here on Baldwin Sports Live. You've been watching Bulldog football presented by Hayden Outdoors.
You've been watching Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Learn more at haydenoutdoors.com. Baldwin Sports Live also brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Kelly Neufeld, Baldwin State Bank, Codiano State Farm Insurance, Heartland Plumbing, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home, One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, Trindle Lumber Company, Oral Surgery Kansas, Hers Incorporated, Rice Precision Manufacturing, The Bullpen, Baldwin City Recreation Commission, New Frontier Tax and Business Services, the Lumberyard Arts Center, Jobats, Baldwin City Community Newspaper, and by the Baldwin City Chamber of Commerce. This is Baldwin Sports Live.